Welcome back to Ember Squad, everybody. We are here with the Streampunks, resuming our Star Wars campaign, and happy to have you all back tonight. Tonight, you might have noticed we are down 2 of our players. Gina is not going to be with us tonight, and we were going to have Vanna back, but Vanna, turns out, got completely dosed with gamma radiation and is currently destroying half the city she lives in. So when she gets all fixed up from that, I don't know how long that's going to take, but when she's all fixed up from that, and makes a good case for herself and is allowed to stream again, then we will definitely have her back on Ember Squad. So it's kind of like, I feel like this is a Marvel sponsorship gone wrong, considering the timing of it. It just kind of feels weird, but anyway. So
Marvel.
Yeah, sponsor
this has
Marvel.
More gays than your entire cinematic universe.
The entire world of your cinematic universe.
Gayer.
So let's go ahead and start things off. Does anybody have any announcements that they'd like to just throw out there that they got going on? Anybody got anything going on? Does nobody have anything going on? It's okay if you don't. We just make room for the top if you want to announce something. Yes.
Yeah, just thank you to everybody who stopped by Morning Ritual Live this Gen Con. We have the VOD coming up. That was a good time. So that's it.
Sweet. Let's see. I don't think I have any announcements coming up. Just that check our coffee page, the Streampunks coffee page. We are regularly updating there on a bi-weekly basis. We put up our video blogs that we are doing now with me, Aliza, and Sam, where we basically take your questions and shoot the shit and talk about what's coming up for Streampunks. So let's see if there's anything else. I can't.
And how many dice are in an Olympic-sized swimming pool?
What, really?
We actually had an estimate come into us from Guru Matt. So thank you, Guru Matt. I believe, and I'm not looking at the moment, it was something on the order of 157 million.
Holy smokes.
That's almost as many dice as you own, Sam.
Well, let's not be ridiculous here. But in the vein of things that we publish on Tuesdays, tomorrow is not a bi-weekly. Tomorrow is Coyote and Crow Part 2. Aliza led a cast through yet another session in the same story world as the Coyote and Crow game from our fundraiser, but these are distinct adventuring parties. There's no overlap. I lie. There's one overlap. It's me. Mwahaha. But it was a really good time. That's going to go up in the Streampunks Discord tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. for our coffee subscribers, companion tier and higher. But that's all the way tomorrow. That's in the future. This is in the past. This is a long, long time ago. And because it's in a galaxy far away, any of the photons from that are even longer ago, because that's how the speed of light and relativity work. But the point is, it's been 2 weeks, which means it was way too long ago. And I'm excited to get back into it. Gosh dang it. I want to shoot stormtroopers with my big old dice pool.
Was anybody else waiting for Sam to go, this is CNN? Anybody else? Nobody? I wanted to hear.
I was waiting for Weird Al.
yeah. I was waiting to hear Sam's Darth Vader impression, but we'll have to wait, I suppose.
I'm a soprano.
I know, that's why it's going to be great. All right, let's go ahead and jump into tonight's episode of Ember Squad. And that is how you make a mayonnaise sandwich. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into tonight's episode of Ember Squad.
I just want to thank you for your cultural authority on that matter.
Yeah, no problem.
I feel like I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I learned a lot.
2 ingredients. I understand now.
You're
So,
right. You should flex beforehand.
when we last left off, our elite team of rookie soldiers had basically found themselves on board an interdictor class Star Destroyer called the Starstorm. Now, you had all invaded the Starstorm's hangar after discovering you had been pulled from hyperspace, unable to jump back into hyperspace to your final destination because of this interdictor class that had some kind of catastrophic malfunction. Engaging would have been a little bit of a death sentence. Luckily, however, the interdictor seemed to be completely disabled and was adrift in space. When you got a little closer, you discovered that it had taken significant structural damage. Making the play, you realize that the only way you were going to escape the interdictor's gravitational fluctuations were to actually get inside of this thing and disable it somehow. That has evolved since you all first entered. You're now you're going to attempt to destroy it, disable it at best, destroy it if you can. That's going to be a tricky part, but disabling it, priority mission. It is a priority target. As you all know, interdictor class cruisers are some of the most lethal weapons that the Empire has to use against the Rebellion. If you think about it, the Rebellion has no chance of standing toe-to-toe with the Imperial Navy. Interdictor class cruisers prevent the rebels from instituting the strategies that they require in order to survive an encounter with the Empire. That is to say, hit and run. Jump in, surprise, hit and run, get the hell out. Sustained battle, not a great idea. Interdictors prevent you from doing that. They let you jump in, but they won't let you jump out again. And sometimes they'll just show up and lock the place down. High priority targets and never seen without an escort. To come across one adrift in space is a golden opportunity to get rid of a serious threat to the Alliance to restore the Republic. Once you got on board, you discovered that this place had already been subjected to what looks like a rebel attack. It was sending out an SOS that was decrypted, so it's possible that somebody else also picked up and a member of the Rebel Alliance attempted to take over this vessel. And that is where you met Nerumno, the Wookiee. Neru is a very large Wookiee. She is lethal, to say the least. She is large enough, and of her character career is a heavy, and carries with her an E-Web blaster cannon, which is typically mounted on a tripod and used against vehicles. She is wielding it like some kind of colonial space marine and is just walking around with this thing, mowing down stormtroopers. You all decided that the primary objective was to get to finish the task and try to destroy this ship. You got into the guts of the interdictor's gravitational wells. You managed to fight your way into one of the sensitive areas of the ship that's going to help you disable the system overall. And now you're stalling for time, trying to figure out how you're going to shut this thing down before reinforcements show up. Now, when we last checked in, you had all, thankfully, Myth had done a brilliant job using ye old social skills to convince the commander of the Star Destroyer that everything is fine down here and there are no need for immediate reinforcements. That's only going to last for so long. This ship is heavily damaged, but it's not going to take long for her to figure out that something is very wrong. Reports are going to come in from somewhere on the ship, or some kind of alarm is going to go off. You guys have a limited amount of time, but thanks to Myth, you've got a window of opportunity. We're picking up where we last left off. You have a couple of Imperial soldiers that you've taken prisoner. Their weapons have been confiscated. They're on their knees right now with their hands on their heads. A few of them have offered up assistance, basically kind of telling you what you all needed to know, but it looks like they're mostly trying to buy time as to ensure that none of them get shot. And that is where we are starting tonight's episode.
I think one of the things that we did is we put them into a nearby storage closet.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
The lock on it.
That's right. They're in a storage closet. That's right. They all got pushed into the storage closet. Thank you for the reminder. So then we are going to pick up shortly after you have put them in the storage closet. You guys have bought yourself some time. Right now, you're in this room with these very large domes. Remember, the one that you're in right now is one of the centerpieces. It is a dome that is about 60 to 65 feet diameter, and it has a second one that is connecting from the ceiling, barely touching. So it's like these two huge half spheres, basically, protruding from both the floor and the ceiling in this great expansive space that you're all in right now. Of course, if you can imagine the classic George Lucas effect of this huge room that is cavernous with these giant domes. And that's where we begin right now. As you're all checking out the systems, Neru is currently going over her e-web and making sure that the blaster pack still has energy left in it.
I'm telling all of you, if we disable this thing, they'll be free from the gravity well at the very same time, and we'll have to escape on a brick. Maybe taking it is the right move.
What if... I mean, sabotage is also an option. They see us escape at the same time. They try to turn it back on. Maybe we fix it some way that if they try to turn it back on, the whole thing blows.
They've already got a hailing beacon up, and we don't know how long it's been up or who's heard the call.
At the very least, we have 30 minutes until the captain is wise to our antics. We've got to move fast if we're going to move at all. God, I wish Lon was here.
Cut 2. Slowly starting to come around. Lon, the fuzziness begins to sort of fade away from your vision as you see some blinking lights and some flickering ambience from outside the flight deck window. There's a sharp pain in the back of your head where it feels like something smacked against you pretty hard, and it all starts coming back to you, Lon. The sensation of being ripped from hyperspace and everyone being flung in all different directions. You didn't even have time to panic. You were airborne, and then the world went dark on you. And as you're coming to right now, you see what looks like a very nervous little droid hovering in front of you, just going, Are you awake? Are you awake? Are you conscious?
I have a bad headache.
It's like high-pitched chirping.
I don't remember much, but I take it we're not there yet?
No, we're inside an interdictor Star Destroyer.
What?
We're currently inside the hangar bay. The droid just kind of buzzes around you and says, the entire squad is disembarked. It looks like they're engaging the enemy.
How are we? What? I like try to get up as fast as I can, but
you wobble a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and start you off with a couple of points of strain. And that is where we are going to actually pause, because as we are getting into the narrative, let's roll some force dice. So I'm going to start with you, Elias, if you would please roll me a white die. Hey, light side point. All right, Lon, go ahead and roll me that white die if you would please. Thank you, Lon. I'll take that dark side point. Myth, if you would. All right. 2 points. Stucky.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys, y'all. Okay. Okay. The force is strong with Ember Squad tonight. Goodness gracious. I'm going to have to roll your duty scores here. Let's see. Yeah.
He said duty.
I bet you rolled number 2.
You all take 3 billion points of damage and are promptly erased from existence.
All right, look at Star Wars, everyone.
Thank
That
goodness.
was good.
How did we end up in Star
It's
Trek?
over. And that's how the new campaign started. Okay, so let's do this. Oh, that's why. Okay, 1 sec. So I pull this up. Confession. I do have the Footloose theme song stuck in my head tonight, so I apologize if that jumps into the game.
Well, first you got to turn yourself around.
No.
Your feet on the ground.
Oh, God,
Now
I
take
did
a
this
hold
to
of your
myself.
soul.
Thank you. I did this to myself. All right.
All
Okay.
I know is that if we don't get free from this gravity well, we'll never be able to cut loose.
93. Oh no. So where you guys were strong in the force, the duty score is not really clicking into play tonight. So you're not going to get any bonus to wounds, but that's fine. Hopefully you won't need them. All right. So, Lon, what are you doing right now?
Well, first I'm trying to just see if I can get up, and
Yes.
no one else is in the our bucket shuttle.
Yeah, looking around the shuttle, what you see is pretty much an empty bay. There's nobody in here except for Gran is currently standing in front of Dr. Jelliso, who is looking at him with hatred in her eyes. The Syrian looks like she's become conscious. She is still looks like she's still quite secure inside of her seat. She's kind of leaned forward and kind of jerking a little bit on the what looks like this it looks like a cable that's connected to the back of her chair that's keeping it so she cannot pull her hands down too far. So she kind of jerks her hands and like tests how taut that thing can get before you see Gran get in front of her and just be like, no, that's not going to work. Gran is just, you can see from the looks of where you are, Lon, Gran looks like he's got a cut on the right side of his face. He's just standing there kind of calmly with a smug grin on his face looking at her. He hasn't noticed that you're conscious yet, even though you're kind of standing a little wobbly as you get out of the bed.
Gran.
He immediately looks over and goes, "Oh, you're alive. That's..." He moves over to you and checks you and says, "Any blaster shots, any knife wounds from when you were sleeping? We were attacked by stormtroopers while you were unconscious."
What?
No, I'm kidding. You're fine. You've just been sleeping here the whole time. The rest of the unit has gone inside the interdictor to try to free us.
What's the situation? How long have we been here?
Checks his time and says, "We're getting close to 20 minutes now. Situation is, looks like another rebel unit seems to have invaded the inside of the interdictor. So, not entirely sure what we're up against just yet."
Are we secure outside? Can I join everyone? Or are we laying low?
Seems like the hangar's clear, but we haven't actually scouted the hangar. We just looked around and made sure there were no immediate enemies in the area. Came across a Wookiee. Big Wookiee. Big gun. Lots of help.
I stumble toward the cockpit area to see if there's any sort of like data or readouts that other people may have already scanned for, or if not, if I need to do a scan of what's in the hangar.
Yeah, go ahead. I would say make a computer use check.
Okay. Computers, I know how those work.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Roll computers and see what you get.
What's the difficulty?
In the hangar, difficulty is going to be 1.
All right.
Yeah. So this should not be a spooky roll for you. 1 success, 1 advantage. Yes. Well, in truth, despite the fact of having the starship inside the hangar, no one really thought in that time to scan the inside of the hangar itself. It was more of a disembark, go kind of situation. So as you get up to the console and start checking out the interior of the hangar, immediately what you see, Lon, is it looks like, first of all, the hangar looks like it's been demolished, and you detect multiple starfighters are in this hangar. Squadrons of TIE fighters have not left their docks and are on the racks above. Some of them have been heavily damaged. It looks like the racks themselves have been damaged. So it's unlikely any of these TIE fighters would be able to launch immediately without some kind of repairs to the racks. Think of it like a damage to the flight deck of an aircraft carrier. They would need to patch some stuff up if they were going to actually be able to launch some of these TIEs. There's a couple of other things that you see in the hangar, some heavily damaged vessels. However, with all the chaos, including spilled warheads that are laying out exposed on the ground, as well as multiple, it looks like a TIE bomber detached and rolled across the hangar at some point. The fire is still burning, and that is the ambient flickering light that you saw from the inside of the flight deck. Your sensors, though, detect something that you don't immediately see looking out your window. There is, in fact, an intact vessel in here, not terribly far from where the shuttle is docked, and it looks like it has managed to escape relatively unscathed. However, it is behind what looks like a huge pile of debris and destruction, but not buried underneath it, just not visible.
I yell over to Gran. I think there's another ship in here that's not broken.
Gran looks over at you and says, "What are you thinking?"
I might go check it out.
You got a gun?
Before we left, I wanted to have requested a standard issue blaster pistol.
No problem.
Right.
Easy enough. Easy peasy.
I say, sure do. Are we safe on comms or are they monitoring?
We didn't really get orders. Tillo didn't really tell me. Let me check in with him, find out what Tillo has to say. Sergeant Tillo, this is Private Gran. Are you there? I don't know the etiquette of this kind of thing. Meanwhile, as y'all are debating on the next move, Tillo has wheeled over to the sides of the console where you see a general display of the status, like the sort of like the damage report of the device itself, of the gravitational well. And as he's scrolling through it, all of you hear, "Tillo, this is Gran, Private Gran. Are you there? I'm still trying to reach you. Over." And Tillo just rolls his eyes and goes, "Yeah, Gran, what do you have?" He says, "Lon's awake. I'm happy to report. Looks like he is his usual self, and he's got this little cute droid buzzing around his head. He wants to step outside the vessel. Apparently, he's found something that looks like an intact ship in the hangar." Tillo kind of says, "Can you put him on?" Tillo looks over, or rather, Gran looks over at you, Lon, and she says, "You got a communicator on you? I don't want to have to lean over me."
I hold one up. I just wanted to see if it was. I just wanted to see if it was safe first.
All right, cut the chatter. What do you got for me?
There's an intact ship on the far side of some wreckage in the hangar bay.
All right. You want to scout it?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't something you already saw on your way out. I don't know what happened. I just got up.
All right, go ahead and scout it out. Gran, I need you to stay with the doctor. Do not leave her unguarded.
And let me know if you need me to join you all soon enough.
If everything goes well, we'll be joining you here pretty soon.
All right.
Okay. You cut comms. Gran just nods to you and says, "I'll stay here and guard our house guest. Good luck out there. Remember, you see any Imperials, you might want to shoot them."
So I pull. I hand ready on the holster as I peek outward and look if there's anyone out there.
Yeah. So, Lon, as soon as you move down the ramp, you peek around and you see indeed further signs of the chaos that happened in here. The snapshot that you've gotten at this point, we'll just say expositing a little bit, is that this was an interdictor cruiser that suffered some kind of malfunction and was pulled itself out of hyperspace. A Silhouette 7 ship like this being ripped from hyperspace, the havoc that it caused inside the hangar is catastrophic. You see bodies, you see upside down ties that have been just absolutely brutalized. Cockpits have been shattered. Again, proton torpedo warheads just laying out onto the deck. It looks like there's been some explosions. There's lots of fire burning in here. The suppression droids are moving around, just kind of idly, just putting out small fires as they move along. Don't hear the sounds of any movement. It's hard to imagine that everybody in here was killed, considering the crew complement of an interdictor. However, it's also hard to say how bad the damage was in the hangar before you all arrived. But it doesn't appear, at least at first glance, it doesn't appear to be any Imperials moving around down here.
I say, "Hello, eyes and ears, but keep it on the down."
Keeping it on the down, eyes and ears. And Elo just goes and just hovers right above your head and starts slowly spinning in every direction, just 360.
And I make my way towards that intact ship.
Okay. You creep down the ramp, taking a left and stepping over debris that's steaming hot. Like you can see waves of heat emitting from the metal shards that are just ripped into the hull of the ship and kind of moving around them. Elo just hovers above your head like a little droid halo, just spinning in a slow 360, just keeping an eye out for everything around you, keeping in perfect synchronicity with where your head is as you move throughout the debris. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me. Difficulty is 2. I just want to see how quiet you're being.
All right. Come on. Oh.
3 successes, 2 advantages. Nicely rolled. Who would you like to? What would you like to do with those advantages?
I also have the advantage from earlier.
And don't forget, you also have Aux Crew that has reset, so you guys all have Aux Crew boost dice to use.
Well, for now, I'm going to give an advantage each to across the setting.
Okay.
To Myth, Stucky, and Elias over there.
Okay, so each of you are going to gain a boost die. You creep around one of these weapon rack corners. There, it looks like there was a hover, looks like a platform that was being raised up from the hangar deck itself, where it looks like armaments were being brought up out of the hangar's floor, power packs being restored to some of the blasters on board the TIE fighters, lots of ship equipment that has just been tossed about. As you're kind of creeping through, Lon, I can only imagine, but this would be a scrapyard dream come true. This is top of the line Imperial war tech that you're walking around. Some of it might be salvageable, just not enough time. However, as you make your way down towards the deck and move past some of the what looks like the debris that is piled up, you're going to need to make an athletics check. If you don't have an athletics check, you can use brawn twice.
Brawn twice.
Yeah. So the way I would say that is, what is your brawn rating?
2.
2. Oh no, it would just be a regular. I'm sorry, it would just be a regular brawn check. Normal brawn check. So
I would like to use my first Aux Crew boost for this then.
Okay. Your first Aux Crew.
I don't want to fall down and pass out for the rest of the session again. So
yeah, that would suck. All right, I'm gonna roll to see who it's from, and the answer is it is from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is Lofweir. So Lof, thank you so much for that boost die.
And this is against a difficulty.
The difficulty is 3 on this one.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Lots
of heavy lifting here. Do you want to spend? Would you like to spend a destiny point?
Already? Well, what does everyone else say?
What do you think?
I'd say it's totally viable, but also, Eric, I see you. You're not slick.
You know what? I'm just gonna go for it. We deal with the situations we're in.
Okay.
That is to say, I will not use a destiny point. I'm using a boost.
Okay, go ahead. Make your roll.
Oh.
4 successes and an advantage. The force is strong with Lon tonight. My goodness. Lon, this big piece of debris that's in front of you, when you first look at it, it looks like this thing is just not going to be doable at all. You put your hands underneath it and kind of tug gently just to see what you're up against. And the moment you gently pull on it, everything that it's piled on top of collapses and falls away. You instinctively kind of step back as you're afraid that the great weight of this giant metal object is just going to roll over you. But instead, it rolls forward off of the pile. Being that it was supporting the pile, everything in front of you just kind of collapses in. And you see in full view, just on the other side of sparks flying everywhere, a ship. Make a warfare check, if you would, please, to find out.
While I do that, I am also mouthing to Elo, see what happens when you don't keep a workshop neat and tidy?
Elo says, shh, I'm keeping my eyes open and my ears open. And just continues to spin.
What's the difficulty on this one?
Difficulty, let's see, what's the rarity on this thing? Because it is not a common vessel at all. Rarity is...
Quincy has played X-Wing.
Oh, you'll know exactly what this is, Quincy.
Yeah,
you'll know
Alliance.
exactly. You'll know exactly what this is.
And Star Wars Squadrons. But Lon has not played all those.
Right. Consumables. Okay, I'm going to set the difficulty of this at 3.
Okay, great. 3 difficulty to check if this rhymes with basalt bunboat. Rolling.
Why did they put bunnies on a boat?
Okay, so take 2 points of strain.
Oof.
But you are doing very well for the successes tonight.
That is to say, I think I can take 1 point of strain, because as a Saboteur, I have Resolve. When involuntarily suffering strain, suffer 1 less strain per rank of Resolve.
Nice. Okay. You take a point of strain then. You feel a little wave of dizziness come over you for a moment, Lon, as you focus on what you're looking at. You're not sure you believe what you see. You've heard of these. They're relatively new. The Empire has been implementing them recently. This is a VT-49 decimator. This is essentially a heavily armed assault transport. Silhouette is 4. Speed is 3. Handling is -3. But it has a hit threshold of 30 and a shield threshold of 20. It is armed with dorsal and ventral mounted quad laser cannons, as well as a forward mounted missile launcher. And it has a class 1 hyperdrive. It is fast, real fast. This thing is one of the newest lines of Imperial weaponry to come off of the Quat yards, the drive yards in the past 5 years. You've heard of these. You've seen them. They essentially look like 2 compacted, tight, large wings folded into what a TIE fighter-like frame. I invite you all to Google VT-49 Decimator, and you will see what it looks like. They are intimidating looking vessels. This one sits completely unscathed, and it is currently locked into place.
I still hand on the blaster.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and inspect it.
All right, you move up. The ramp to this thing is down. The ship is open. Would you like to creep inside, or would you like to keep out here? It's up to you, Lon.
Before I creep inside, I will calm Stucky.
Okay. Because you want to experience a reaction video in real time.
Yeah, like you're up.
Stuck. Yeah, I'm up, and I found. Have you ever flown against or seen a VT-49 decimator in your simulations?
If you would like to make a warfare check on that one, Stucky,
Yeah, let's
find out if you know what that is.
Let's give that a go. And I have a boost die. What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is 3. This is a very unusual vessel.
Oh my god. It's gonna be that kind of night tonight.
No boy. Never. Yeah, you doesn't sound familiar.
Can't say that I have. To be fair to you, though, I don't always remember the names of ships or ever really do simulations. I think that's kind of it's too structured, you know? I like to do my flying on the fly.
Well, good news is, if you're looking for an upgrade, we might be able to take one. I'm going to go check out and see, do an inspection before we borrow this guy.
Just how much of our current situation are you aware of? Because we got some news. Some bad news and then some worse news.
I hear we're stuck, but you're going to join me soon. I trust that.
Yeah. Problem is, the gravity well, the second we shut it down, they're free too. And I'm not out flying this thing in a bucket. So I was thinking maybe we take it. You got any thoughts on that?
Gravity well?
The whole shebang.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I gotta prioritize one problem at a time. I'll think on that while looking at this thing.
All right. Yeah. Then we'll get to you. Don't get shot. It sucks.
Do my best.
Elo pipes in and goes, "That is good advice," as he continues to hover above you.
I say, Elo, once this thing is clear, You want to inspect the ordnance on this deck to see what's still working?
Sure. Would you like me to go do that now?
Right after we see what's inside here.
Okay.
And then I go inside carefully.
All right. You step on inside. What are you all doing in the gravity well room that y'all are in?
One way or another, we need to make sure that this thing goes down, or I don't know that taking the ship's the right option. There's not enough of us, and there might be too many of them.
If we can get it to the cockpit, seal it off. I don't know. I might be able to work something from there, but I see what you mean. I've got some thermal explosives still. We can place it by the gravity well, just in case.
I mean, blowing it up is one way to turn it off.
Yeah, but we set the beast loose.
Elias, you have a suggestion?
I could scout the bridge.
The Wookiee immediately kind of growls.
I'm quiet.
Elias can do it.
I could see if it could be taken.
We don't know. Were we ever able to get above game? Were we ever able to get a sort of what kind of crew complement?
There's still a ton of people.
active?
It is entirely plausible that the bridge is still going to be fully occupied, because if there's one thing the captain's gonna get up and running, it's a bridge, right?
The typical occupancy of an interdictor cruiser is around, usually holds about 80 troops is usually what's stationed on board, but you're looking at about 2,800 or so enlisted officers, pilots, and crew. You don't know how many of those people are still alive on this floating city, but
We'd be fighting every step of the way if we tried to take the bridge. That's why I say we try to hit them hard. If we blow the, we could try placing. I'm like I said, I'm not a saboteur, but I figure if we hit enough critical systems with enough explosives, it would turn off the gravity well and at the same time get us out of here.
I'm not a saboteur, but I am a pilot. If we can get in the cockpit, I can get this ship. But honestly, I think it's going to come down to what our mechanic can do. I think scouting ahead might be a good idea. We've got to.
Sir?
Tillo pipes up and says, all right, this is our problem. Our problem is we've got a pilot up here and our saboteur down in the hangar. We need to swap the two of you. If Lon has found something that can get us out of here faster than the brick, we should take it. Who has that officer's data rod? Which one of you has that? You hold that up. He was a pilot. Give that to Stucky. Stucky, get back down to the hangar. Send Lon back up. And he turns then to the Wookiee and says, Neru, I don't technically have the right to order you, but would you be willing to escort our pilot down there to make sure that we get out alive? She immediately just goes, you can hear this growl, and you just hear as the Wookiee goes back, basically saying, you're trying to take me out of a fight that I won. And he says, I'm trying to put you in a position where we can win this fight and get out of here. Please. And Neru looks over at you, Stucky, and nods and says, I'll make sure the pilot gets there alive.
Nothing puts confidence in your heart like having a Wookiee on your side. All right.
In which case, we're going to need to... Wait. No. This plan doesn't work. We're going to have to swap it. Neru, you should stay with us. I just realized if worse comes to worse, we're going to need to hold this position. If we need to hold this position, we need all the firepower we can get, in which case I need somebody who's swift and efficient and good at shooting to escort our pilot back down to the hangar.
Looks like a job for Elias.
Suddenly feeling even more confident.
Elias, when they find out what we're up to over here, they're going to try to close off our escape routes. Team up with Gran, get the prisoner transferred to the new ship, see if you can access it using the data rod, and hold our escape route. If we lose that hangar, we lose everything.
Yes, sir.
The Wookiee looks over at you, Elias, and says, "Good luck."
Good hunting.
All right. Get going, you two. And we're going to set up down here. Everybody else, watch the doorways. We're going to try to buy time until Lon can get here. This is going to get close.
Is there a computer access terminal?
Yo, plenty of them. Yeah.
I would like to, especially since we're here, sabotage isn't necessarily Miss Thing, but information acquisition definitely is.
You might be able to pull something off. Depends on how big you want to. If you want to get into the database that's only accessible by higher ranking officers, you might be able to pull that off with what you've got. However, oh wait, that's right. Elias has the data rod now. So, or who has the data rod? Who's being given the officer's data rod? Stucky or Elias?
The officer was a TIE pilot that went to Stucky, I believe.
Okay, so Stucky's got the data rod. Okay, that's fine. You might be able to use one of the dead officers that are laying around here. There was that high-ranking officer that's laying around here. You might be able to use them to gain access to the information inside of this.
That's I'm gonna do a quick little search through.
Okay.
Check the usual pocket.
Tillo just watches what you're doing, doesn't say anything, doesn't interrupt, just lets you do your magic.
If we can get some sort of access to the data that's on this vessel, at least have them know known targets, troop deployments, that sort of thing, we can use it. It's blowing this thing up is great, but being able to scavenge before we do that is even better.
Make a roll. This is going to be a computer check. I'm going to lower the difficulty to 1. However, I am going to give you 2 setback dice.
Okay.
You do have a boost from me earlier.
And yes, I have included that in there also. So let me just check Myth's character sheet real quick, because I believe I have something that is passive on the skills that I've acquired. Please stand by. Feel free to vamp while I do so.
Okay.
I don't know stand, but I can give you buy.
I can also give you buy, but I just need a little bit of stand first.
We're going to cut to Elias and Stucky. You've reached the elevators down the hall and stepped inside the lift. And as the door closes, you've hit the hangar level and you're headed back down. It's quiet for a moment.
How you doing? Silly question, all things considered, but yeah.
I hit my shots.
You always do. It's impressive. I tried to shoot once. Didn't go well. Eventually got a sweet new ship, though.
But are we just gonna leave the old one?
Not after I grab something from it first.
What's even on there?
It's a flight stick I like.
Aren't they all the same?
See, you would think that, but are all guns the same? All blasters?
Well, no, of course not. I mean, there's the... I mean...
Exactly.
The door's open.
Oh, God, that scared the life out of me.
You see the flickering lights of this long hallway. The overhead fluorescent styled colored lights that usually give a beautiful ambient glow to the black glossy floors are just flickering like a horror movie in front of you all. You can still see a couple of the bodies, a few of them that you left here, including the closet door that has been locked closed with an unconscious pilot supposedly inside after a Wookiee played softball with his entire body. As you all exit the elevator, I'm going to have you both roll stealth checks. Difficulty is 2.
Ooh, Doug. Am I any good at that? How am I bad?
Yeah, you're agile. What? 2, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One success.
All right. Stucky and Elias. Elias, you can feel the tension in the back of your neck. You can feel it in your shoulders. You start to realize that you're tapping, just gently tapping the trigger as you move out. Take 1 point of strain as the stress of the situation is starting to really kind of wear on you a little bit. But the two of you manage to creep out of this elevator, checking your corners. You move to the junction point at the very end of the hall, looking left and right and forward. Curiously, again, for a crew of thousands, nobody. You're not coming across anybody. You continue to look left and right. I'm going to have you both roll perception checks now, if you would, please. Difficulty is also 2.
Perception. One success, one threat.
Okay. Elias, wow. It's rare when you see a total cancellation of a roll. So Stucky, also take that 1 point of strain. Stucky, there's a brief moment where you think you hear something. It's enough that you can hear it in the distance, but you're not sure which direction it's coming from.
I'm gonna do that parrot hand thing where it's just like, hold on.
Which kind of immediately, Elias, Stucky apparently has heard something, and you see him stiffen up.
I heard a noise.
There's an ambient hum to the inside of a Star Destroyer. This is, again, as all Star Destroyers are, a small city in space. And even an interdictor being sometimes mockingly called like Junior Star Destroyer or a Star Destroyer that got thrown in the dryer. Interdictors are huge. They are still heavy cruisers. And with thousands of people on board, even with that many people, you can't be any place in the ship where you do not hear power humming all around you. It may have just been an odd, off melodic thrum of the power around you, Stucky, but for a moment you thought you heard what sounded like a heavy thudding noise echoing from down the hall.
Hey, I know you're good with distance, but you wouldn't happen to be a quick draw, would you?
The gun is there.
Good to know. I heard a thud.
What kind of thud?
Not the melodic hum of the power that we're hearing here, so just be on the lookout.
Did it sound like metal? Did it sound like footstep? Did it sound like plastic? The thermocrete? Did it?
Didn't sound recognizable.
Elias is gonna drop to the ground, put their hand on the floor.
Okay.
Like they're tracking.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Try to feel if there's another vibration. If so, what the quality is.
Do you have anything that specifically helps you with that, or are you just trying to make a
I have
perception check
survival.
here?
Proficiency.
Okay, sure. That sounds like a fun way of using it. So you're basically going to pull an Aragorn. You drop down, put your hands against the cool metalled floor. Go ahead and make your survival check. I'm going to give you a setback dice.
Yeah.
Because of how much thrumming is going on inside of this Star Destroyer, particularly right now that it's damaged. But the difficulty is 3.
Oh, frag. Okay. You know what?
Yep.
I am worse for rolling this. I'm putting us in a worse situation by rolling dice right now. No, I mean this is the best. No, I don't want to roll it anymore.
Okay, you don't have to.
Go.
You can.
Yeah,
Go
no, I
for
can't.
it.
It's not a good idea, dude.
So as you put your hand against the plate, immediately something that might have actually helped you in other situations. The moment you put your hand against that cold floor, there is so much activity going on in here, Elias. It's made it so. It's like. Daredevil being surrounded by a bunch of bells just blasting in the ears.
Oof.
It's impossible to make a sense of where it's all coming from.
I don't love that. All right, let's stick close, move fast, and stay quiet.
Well, thankfully your stealth checks went very well. You reach the hangar. When you step out into the hangar, you can see not much has changed down here, and you are looking out from a platform over this massive cavernous hangar that is capable of supporting multiple squadrons. It also has the rather surreal, large, what would normally be a massive pit, but instead, of course, is just a giant square capable of docking silhouette 4-scale starships, looking out into the void of space that you all came through. Thankfully, the force fields are all still fully functional. But you see the multiple fires that have been burning in the hangars are one by one starting to get put out by the droids that are currently moving throughout the hangars and just blasting these fires with suppressant. Just you see the brick, your shuttle, the Tall Tale, pretty much parked over where you all landed.
This one's Fable.
This one's Fable. Oh, that's right. You got that's right. Tall Tale is decommissioned after you decided to.
Be brick. We've called it brick like 5 times now, I think.
They keep upgrading our brick. It's now a slightly better brick.
One is its roll. One is its. Yeah, I got it.
We can actually. It doesn't take long for you to navigate the difficult terrain that is the hangar floor, and by the time you reach the shuttle bay, you can see the ramp coming down. You can hear Gran inside saying something. You don't see any sign of Lon though.
Oh, this is great. I want to reach out of the comms and go, "Hey, Lon, where are you, buddy?"
Lon, roll perception. Difficulty is 2.
Alrighty. Perception.
Nice. Lon is the success master tonight. All of your successes belong to Lon tonight. Lon,
you rest for a whole game session.
Yeah. Lon, when you hear that coming through your comms, you also hear it echoing like rather softly, but from a distance in the hangar. So they're close by.
I say, still in the hangar. I'm inspecting the thing, inspecting the ship. Want to come take a look before I go in?
Yeah, we've got to do a trade off. We got to get you the myth. But I'll be right on the way.
Let's secure this thing and I'll head over.
Sounds good. And yeah, we're gonna make our way to Lon.
I would like to make my way to sight lines. I know, but I don't know. We might have to
And I did say secure, implying that it's not yet secure, so we don't know what's happening in there.
Yep. And also, we lost an Eric.
Chaos reigns.
You
guys in rank.
We get 10 billion experience points.
Just like, you know what? I don't know. Tonight I'm out.
I get that.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'll just let these guys figure it out. Let me know how the game goes, everybody.
And I take out my 8 lightsabers and then cut open.
Grievous, just your arms just pop out. All right, you can easily locate where Lon is calling you from. So you and Elias maneuvering through a lot of the. Well, Elias, are you going to be following or do you want to stick with this?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I think that was right where we lost you. Was that I'm trying to figure out where my sight line is.
Oh, okay.
I have to control as many entrances as possible.
Right. Okay.
In addition to trying to control that particular area.
Make a knowledge warfare check. Knowledge warfare difficulty is 2.
Well, cool. Okay, that's my. Don't worry about. Nope.
There's so much around here, Elias. It's hard to gauge where it's coming from. You are not going to gain a strain, however. I am going to keep a boost die.
All right then.
Okay. Yeah. Any place is good to you, Elias. You see the platform, which is the main entrance to the hangar. That's easy to see from where you are because it is elevated. You can look up at it. But where a good spot for you to sort of nestle in, hard to say.
Do I have a view of the new brick from that platform?
From that platform, you might, once you've seen it, might be able to realize you're looking at it. It's one of those situations where there's so much debris everywhere. It might have actually been hard to spot and be able to differentiate it between all of the debris that's laying around it.
All right, I will go with Stucky and Lon to clear the new brick, and then I can always post up in the platform later.
Okay. You move over to the direction where you see Stucky headed, and when you arrive next to Stucky, the two of you find yourselves looking at this new spaceship. This is a VT-49 Decimator. You see, if you haven't Googled it yet, the picture, basically it is a Silhouette 4 vessel that looks like a combination between some kind of armored transport with a cockpit that's very similar to the TIE Fighter's cockpit. You can see that it is heavily armored, and it has quad lasers on both the bottom and the top. You can see it is a vicious-looking, intimidating shuttle. The ramp is currently down, and you can see Lon is at the very top of the ramp.
Should have said to Poland.
You're gonna quote Contact. You start crying.
I understood that reference.
Amazing.
I like quietly wave and then like wave them over.
Okay.
We have to. Like I'm not even looking at him. We just look at the shit. We have to switch. We have to get the meth.
Keep it together. Keep it together.
And I also tell Ello, looks like we have some help. Well, they're expecting this with me. Go ahead and go find some active ordnance. See what we can maybe salvage to use today.
Looking for big boomsticks. Be right back. Ella just hovers away.
I'd like to take out my pistols and prepare to clear the interior.
All right. Moving up into this thing. The Empire is nothing if not consistent with its aesthetic choices. Inside there are lots of blacks and grays, glossy surfaces, and sinister red lights. Lots of black and green and lots of, it looks like data readouts, but what you can see is a transport that's probably used to dropping soldiers onto the battlefield if necessary. There's enough room inside of this thing for one pilot, one co-pilot, 2 gunners, and it has an encumbrance capacity of 60. It has a passenger capacity of 6. So to sort of give you an idea, it's basically the same size as a YT 1300, roughly the same scale. So you're looking like freighter scale almost. I went ahead and posted that. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I went ahead and posted. I shared a file with the group. It'll give you an idea of what it looks like. But moving through this place, you can see that the ship is in standby mode right now. It has the computer readouts, the diagnostics has detected large and dangerous scaled vibrations outside the ship, probably monitoring the explosions that were taking place when this ship was pulled out of hyperspace. But the ship is currently on standby, so the power is on. It just hasn't been started up yet. I mean, it's military, so there's always going to be a parking brake and codes to use, but this thing is ready to go, Stucky.
Yes, it is. How far are we from the brick? Like,
The
is it a
brick-
quick, like, can I do a quick shot to grab something for the brick again?
The brick's probably about 30 meters away.
I'm gonna do a quick shot.
Okay.
I do want to mention like well, one, we got to make sure this thing's secure, safe and secure to use, and two, it might not be a bad idea to hold on to both until we have to get rid of one. If we have to blow this joint without getting to blow this joint, it might be good to have two ships flying in two directions.
Absolutely. I'm just this is our baby now. This is our baby, and I need my flight stick for my new baby.
Ship's designation is Judgement. VT-49 decimator. Designation Judgement is the name of the ship.
Where's the designation?
It's currently, you can see it located in the front of the ship where there is a small plaque, and you can see that it is also listed on the computer.
Is there a Sharpie?
If you spend a destiny point, there is.
Sam, if you don't do it, I'll do it for you.
Yeah, Noir will do it if you don't.
You just pry the plaque off. I don't know.
Are you kidding? Absolutely not. Fine. Since you're obviously thirsting for dark side points on a level
give you
that
a
is
Sharpie.
frankly unbecoming on main, I
No,
will
I'll
find
give
the
you a
Sharpie and then have a pour over on the plaque.
Okay.
Poor Judgment.
You scrawl poor Judgment over the top of it, renaming the ship, at least in ritual, if not not on the computer, but certainly. All right. You have renamed the ship the Poor Judgment.
Can we finish sweeping this thing, or are you calling it good for us?
I'm calling it good for you guys. You can
Okay.
take about just like a round or two sweeping through the ship, and there's nobody on board. It looks like at one point there was a docking station for a droid that maybe was supposed to come with the vessel. It is currently unoccupied. It's like an alcove where it looks like a security droid maybe was supposed to be docked there. It's not currently available. In fact, what you do notice is the consumables, which are in the cargo bay area, there's only about half the consumables loaded into the ship. So you kind of get the impression that this ship has not been officially used just yet in
How
action.
large a security droid would have been there?
It looks like one of the Imperial security droids that you fought in the gravitational well room. They got shot up, if you remember correctly. Those very large Imperial security droids.
So like an MT size
Mm-hmm.
Nook?
Yeah, basically, yeah. MT sized Nook. But it's essentially it's basically a KX Imperial droid model, which is pretty standard.
Like big enough to make a thudding sound?
Possible. KXs are definitely not quiet droids, but they're not known to be particularly juggernaut scale droids that they would make a thudding sound. You might be able to hear them coming for sure.
But at least a thudding noise loud enough that one of us wouldn't hear.
Yeah.
I'll escort Lon back over while Stucky is having a moment.
Just
On break.
don't look at me right now. I need this.
If you would please, as you all head out and start exiting the hangar,
Did Elo find anything first before we leave?
Oh, Elo reports back that there is roughly 25 unsecured proton warheads currently in the hangar. There's also a couple of particle bombs. Essentially, ordnance is everywhere. Thankfully, it is all, even though it has been unsecured, it is not in danger of detonating.
Yet.
Yet.
Anything big enough that we can either take a piece out, like the explosive part out, or anything, or is it all like size fully and I can't take it apart kind of?
No, you could do surgery on one of these proton torpedoes.
Anything small enough that I can take a piece now without having to start the surgery already.
If you're looking for ordnance, the smallest you're going to get is probably one of the strike missiles that are used on one of the interceptors that's been damaged.
Okay, I just want to bring something just to be like, in case we A, need it, and B, there's more where this came from, but we're going to need to bring it down if we need to use it.
Mm-hmm. You could try, I mean, either way, you're going to be encumbered carrying a warhead from one of these missiles or one of these torpedoes.
In that case, we'll just inventory them, and we'll keep in mind.
Ella says, do you want me to stay here and continue to scan around? Or do you want me to come with you?
Keep a note of where they are and come with.
Okay. And done. Elo just hovers after the two of you. As you are all approaching the door to the hangar, I need you both to make perception checks with a difficulty of 3. Elias and Lon, if you would please. Nothing from Lon, but I'm going to take a boost die.
Oh.
Is that you with the 2 successes and 3 threats, Elias?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Elias, you hear it this time. As you're approaching the entryway to the hangar, you distinctly hear a something approaching the door.
Stucky. Gran.
Yeah.
What's up?
Elias, what's up? Company?
You don't know what Grant's doing, but Grant immediately dashes to the window and starts looking out to see what's going on.
I'm going to do the same thing before Judgment.
I hand pull my pistol and go, what is it?
I'm going to give y'all an action here. What would y'all like to do?
Find cover.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to flank the entrance that they would be coming in. Also, can I just get a sense of the mechanical ranges of this hangar, because long range and medium range operate very differently in terms of weapon selection for moi.
So where you are on the platform, there is not a lot of space between the space of the platform itself and the door that the sound is coming from. To put some distance between you and the door, you're going to have to vacate this platform completely and either head down to the hangar floor once again and find a place to set up, or you're going to have to just tough it out, but that's going to put you in short range.
All of that, and I'm happy at any range. I just want to know if long range even exists in this hangar, or if the long range is medium.
No, if you were to, let me put it this way. If you were at the brick aiming at the door, you're at long range.
And that's a whole yonk away. Okay, I'll stay pistolero for now and take up position right next to that entrance.
Okay. So you hunker down. You do the same, Lon. A few moments later, you hear, and the door goes, there's a hissing sound, and the hangar door goes, as it slides open, there is a single figure in the doorway. It stands a towering and intimidating 9 feet tall. It is broad shoulders with a black glossy plate covering its entire humanoid form with red glowing eyes. Its head looks vaguely like a stormtrooper's helmet. You can see it has what looks like armament on both arms and something large coming off of its forearm, its right forearm, and another blaster cannon on the left forearm. It is alone as it comes stepping into the room. Just, I'm going to need you guys, if you're going to remain hidden, you're going to have to make a stealth check here. Otherwise, we're rolling initiative.
What would the difficulty be on that stealth check?
The stealth check's going to be difficulty 3. Or actually, I'm sorry, it's not going to be difficulty 3. It's going to be a contested roll. So, yeah, that's okay. No, that's a great. You've rolled spectacularly. So, I can let me make a roll here against
Yeah, so that's 3 successes, 5 advantages if you want to use it as contested.
Okay.
Or, you know.
I would like to take another Ox Crew boost.
Okay.
Huzzah.
Yeah.
Would
Taking
I
notes.
would
One
I
sec.
be able to help? Would I be able to help them, or
You have been told that something is coming. You're not entirely sure what it is just yet. And thank you, Vance, for the Ox Crew boost.
hell yeah?
You're on the brick.
Yeah. So let me just make this quick roll.
Does the brick have weapons?
It most certainly does not. I don't think.
But the new ship might.
Okay.
Yeah, but both of them are on. Both Gran and Stucky are on old brick.
All right. So this is a contested roll. Let's see how it goes. Miraculously, the two of you do not attract its attention as the droid comes into the room. It approaches the side. If you want to make a warfare check, you can. The difficulty of this is 3. Again, you're coming up against something that most people are not familiar with. But as it steps into the room, it comes to the ledge of where the thing is. It has all this thing would have to do is merely look left and right and inspect where you both are hiding, and it would spot you. It has not done that. Instead, it comes to the ledge. Difficulty is 3 on the knowledge warfare check if you want to make it.
Without rolling, it's a thing I can shoot, right?
It is indeed a thing you can shoot.
I feel like I know what
will-
I need to know.
I'll roll for it, even though I don't think I'll know. In Lon's brain, his machine shop used to manufacture parts for the Empire, so you never know what he'll recognize.
It's true.
And in this case, nothing.
You have no idea what this thing is. All right. Are you going to, if you're going to shoot at it, then we're rolling initiative.
Since we made the stealth, I hate to be this guy again.
No, you get the drop on him.
Okay, so last time we did that as effectively a surprise attack.
Mm-hmm.
Are we doing that?
Yeah. Do you want to get the shot off? Yeah, you can. You can take a shot
I
right
do.
now. So you're not in. This
I'm in
isn't going to
short,
be. You're in
was
short
what you
range
said.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So go ahead and make your shot.
Okay. All of those numbers are going to be wrong. I take an action to aim, or a maneuver to aim.
Okay. Level this thing up.
I'll be doing a dual weapons check, and I'd like an ox boost.
All right. This ox boost brought to you by. This is going to be
W.
Breeks.
Breeks. You
The
shouldn't
Breeks
have.
bomb cometh. All right.
All right. Well, here goes nothing.
3 successes.
That's enough
Oh.
to activate the dual weapons.
All right.
So that'll do a total of 13 weapon damage plus 3, 16.
16 points of damage.
And 1
That is
boost to pass to Lon.
monster damage.
It'll soak a ton, though. Soak a ton of damage.
It will. Let's find out how much and if any it does. Oh, well, good to know.
What?
Good to know.
Mhm.
All right, then what I'll do is just let's see. So okay. All right.
Probably should have crit on it. Oh well.
The blaster shot goes off, and the second blaster shot goes off as Elias decides to introduce themselves to this big thing that's just walked into the room. As the 2 blasters slam into the chassis of the droid, and it hovers for a second, immediately swivels in your direction and opens fire on you, Elias. Just brings the guns down to bear, and now we're going to roll initiative. So y'all are going to be rolling. Everyone's going to be rolling cool at this point because the cool would be the roll. And this thing is slow.
Nice.
Oh buddy, is this thing slow? Yep.
Are we in initiative roll mode yet?
Oh, thank you. I should have started the initiative. Yep.
Cracking a stack.
That's okay. I can modify that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I do kind of wish we had MT here in this moment just to Sparta kick it off the platform.
Lon, okay, so it is going to be going last. And the fight's begun. And back on the ship, Stucky, you can hear the blasters going off. So can Gran. Gran's going to run on his action outside combat, runs to the top of the ramp and looks out to see what the hell he can see as the blasters go off. So first up with 3 successes and 2 advantages, that's you, Lon.
I would like to sneak back over to all right, is there line of sight between the new ship and this droid here?
Barely, yes. If you're asking specifically if the dorsal quad laser cannon can spot the platform you are on, yes, it can.
I go. I Comstocky roll fast. I think we're gonna need to take the new ship for a spin sooner than we thought, and then I try to make my way over there without being seen yet. My assumption as the character is that they only saw Elias, so I'm gonna try to make my way over there.
Okay, so you're gonna make a stealth check, but you're also using your comms. And so what I'm gonna do is, even though you have not been detected, you're gonna make a stealth check. You are going to add 1 second. You're going to add an entire purple die to the, oh no, it's upgrading the difficulty. Sorry, it has adversary 1. So you're going to upgrade. It's going to one of the difficulty die. So it's going to be a challenge. So you are going to upgrade a difficulty die to 1 red. And I'm going to be giving a 2 setback dice.
Oof. So 1 red plus 2 setback dice. No
Yes.
standard purples.
No standard purples. It has enhanced perception.
Should have kept my mouth shut. All right. You know what? Let's use another Ox crew.
Okay. Might as well. All right. So Ox crew, thank you for protecting Ember Squad. Leo Ambermain, it is appreciated. So gain another boost die.
Woohoo!
1 success, 1 advantage. The thing doesn't hear you as you sneak away, and you can hear Stucky kind of breathlessly, just like, we're gonna need to power up that. We're gonna need that ship a little faster than we thought. Like looks like Lon is kind of keeping his cool, but he inches away from this thing as it swivels and turns on Elias. Elias, that is going to be your action now, as Lon wisely withdraws from combat.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna shoot it.
Shoot it.
At least put some hurt into it before I go.
So it's short range. That's going to be difficulty of 2, I believe, is standard for short.
It's usually difficulty 1. I roll on 2 for the dual weapons.
I think it's. Why do I have this? I thought it was difficulty 1 for engaged.
1. Engaged gets complicated.
Yes, it does. All right, 1 second then.
Also, when I built the dice pool earlier, it gave me 1, and I had
Short
to
is
add 2
1.
manually, so that's
Yeah.
a good sign.
Short is 1. It's going to upgrade to a red.
Okay.
I'm also going to spend a dark side point here.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to add an additional purple to your check. And go ahead and make a roll. Pop off into the shot on this thing.
Okay. All right. True aim. Whew, y'all. That's. I know it looks like a bonkers dice pool, but it's a scary dice pool.
Mm-hmm. 3 successes.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Dang.
But no advantages. So you're going to pop it once.
Yep. Put another 10 into it. I did 26 points of damage before I died.
That second shot slams into the chassis again. You just see the thing twitch as it levels its gun to open fire on you. And it is going to shoot. Oh no, that's the, yeah, okay. You're at short range, but I'm also going to give you, you had taken cover, so I'm going to give it a setback die. And
I'm going to spend a light side point to upgrade the difficulty of its check.
okay, so I'm going to increase this, becomes that. So purple becomes red. All right, let me just spin that light side point. And yeah, okay, and it opens fires. It opens fire. It misses you. My goodness, it misses you with 3 yellows and green against your 1 red in the setback. This thing opens fire, and oh boy, Elias, you see the firepower erupting from this thing's arm is enough to slag an entire like field of metal right in front of you. Your cover explodes and sparks fly as this cannon just goes immediately begins to eviscerate and destroy the cover you were behind. It melts down in front of you, miraculously failing that roll with 3 advantages though. I'm going to spin those. And I am going to force the target to drop a melee or ranged weapon it was wielding. I cash in those 3. So you stumble back and drop one of your pistols. I'll let you pick which one. But you basically stumble back and hit the ground as sparks explode around you. A wave of heat just emanates over your body. Everybody in the hangar hears that.
Do I have eyes on what's happening here?
Make a perception check, and I'm going to give you a difficulty of 1 because there was a lot of explosions taking place just now.
Yeah, let's see here. Perception. And I'm going to use one of my boosts from the Ox Crew.
Okay, Ox Crew, another boost die from Ox Crew. This one is coming from Reverse Aquamath.
1 success and 4 advantages.
Okay, yes. You see, make a warfare check. Let's see if you identify what it is. Difficulty is 3.
And are any of us getting those advantages?
Lon, Elias, and yeah, I could give one the myth as well. And I'm gonna use one of the advantages to. I'm gonna use for the advantage. No, one of the advantages to drop my strain down by 1.
Okay, good call.
Here we go.
3 failures.
3
All right.
failures.
All you see is something just tried to cut Elias in half with a sheer like avalanche of plasma fire just erupting from the side of this large looking droid. The droid, Stucky, is a thing from your nightmares. This thing looks like a cold killing machine. It towers overhead, and it looks like it is armed to the teeth. You can see smoke drifting up from its chassis. You have to assume that Elias probably shot this thing a couple of times. It is not stopping.
This is in the hangar, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if it's my turn yet, but he's probably
yeah. You can get. What do you want to do outside of combat?
Start up the brick.
Okay, the new brick or the old brick?
Oh, the old brick, because we're going ramming.
So are you? So you're? Oh, because you're in. Okay. You flip on the switches, and the old shuttle goes.
Prepare for ramming speed.
Grant just goes. What are you doing?
They are. The kid's under fire. The kid's good with the blaster. I'm good with this. Hold on.
Hold on. Where are we going? He just holds on. All right. Back to the platform. We are starting at the top of the initiative round again. Right now it is you, Lon.
Have I made it to the decimator?
No, you
All I do is
if you spend 2 points of strain, I'll let you make it to the decimator at the end of this round. But it's going to take all of your actions to get there.
Okay.
You're running across the hangar. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing that then.
Okay. Spend 2 points of strain as you push yourself to the limit, hopping over you're literally leaping over warheads, Lon, as you just pop over. Elo's just zipping behind you, going, oh no, oh no, oh no, just zipping behind you as you're dashing towards this. As you rush past the brick, you look over and Fable is taking off. You can see it just going, the repulsor's activating. The ramp is still down, but you can see it sort of angling downwards. That's going to be your action. It is your action, Elias.
There are so many reasons not to be in this exact position now that my cover is gone, etc. So
you still technically have your cover. I'm not penalized.
You told me that. So that's just
that is yes. You technically still have your cover, but keep in mind this thing is advancing on you. So this round, it can walk around your cover and just aim down at you.
Right. So again, I need to move.
Probably. But you just to clarify, because it sounded like you thought you didn't have your cover anymore. You do.
Okay. I guess technically cover doesn't have viscera to be. Yeah. Okay. All right. How far is the platform from other objects in this hangar?
If you want to spend a
I'm going. I suspect I'm going to, but
then there just so happens to be the hull of an overturned Lambda class shuttle that is on its side, just over the side of the railing.
Okay, that doesn't help me as much as I hoped.
It's about. Okay, well, if that's not what you were looking for, you can. If you're spending the destiny point, you can tell me.
I will get behind any kind of cover. I figure I'm probably spending strain this round in order to do the number of maneuvers I would hope to do.
Okay.
Eric, you have said multiple times this session and last about all the warheads around here.
Mm-hmm.
That's the destiny point. Can one of those be in range?
Elias is becoming Sheriff Brody right now.
I don't know what that means.
It's a Jaws reference.
That's scary. That movie's scary.
All right. So yes, if you want to spend 2 strain, you can.
Spend 2 strain movement plus second maneuver for strain, and then the true aim and the action to shoot.
Now, if I remember correctly, if you were fleeing combat the way you are right now, you have to make a roll. Isn't that correct?
That would be the first I've heard of it, but that's no guarantee that it isn't a rule. It's just that I have never encountered it myself.
Maneuvers. Let me just 1 sec. Taking cover. No, because you're technically not leaving. Yeah. Okay.
Right. So, I'm going from cover somewhere else. I'm not like leaving engaged range or anything.
Interactive environment. Okay. So you're fine. Yeah. Okay. Incidental. Speaking job. You can. With this, so moving, you can move 2 range bands. If you want to spend the 2 points of strain, you're going to be fine. So if you spend 2 points of strain, you can pick up your blaster again in this action and get to where you need to go.
No, I'll pick up the blaster after it's dead.
Okay, you both
pick it off someone's corpse. Yeah, so I will run, jump. If we can, just for narrative, slide down.
Sure.
That boat. And into cover, and I'd love to turn back up and aim at the warhead that I'm instantiating with the destiny point.
Okay. Okay. It's a 50-50 chance you can pop this warhead. It is not armed, but you are shooting directly at it, and that ain't nothing. So go ahead. You're going to hop over the side. Okay, so I think what I'm going to have you do is you're going to use your entire action burning 2 strain to bolt from combat and slide over into a cover and try to lure this thing towards a warhead that you are then going to shoot as it gets close. Is that correct? Okay. Yep. So then on it's you're going to have to wait until its action is complete then, because right now it's still in front of the door. It will not be close enough to the warhead.
That's cool. I mean, look, if it ends up being that this is my next round, that's fine. If it means like if I'm holding the action and I'm just using the maneuver for my aim, I will do that.
Okay. So you dash behind the cover. just narratively, as you dash behind the cover, the thing angles its arm up and sprays in front of it, sparks exploding like superheated metal forming next to your feet as you dash across the hangar and slide behind some cover. Elias, you see more metal just get hit with these plasma bolts as it's full auto, just scattering across the hangar. You glance out just real quick to see this thing going approaching you relentlessly. You can see you have torn into the chassis. You can see some of the mechanical movements underneath, but this droid is not slowing down. It advances on you like a Terminator as it continues to move towards. That's when your eyes catch sight of one of the proton torpedoes. There's two things that come to your mind, Elias. If that thing pops, it's definitely going to take out that droid. If that thing pops, that's ordnance used against starships. That thing pops, big bada boom. And it just might set off another one. But it will solve your problem. At least the problem with the droid.
I heard of a philosopher talk about a Molotov cocktail. They're great. As soon as you throw one, you have a new problem.
Yeah. Okay, on its round, it starts to advance. It's going to use both of its actions. It actually cannot engage into a fast running action, so it just picks up its pace and begins to move towards you. Using both of its actions, it is going to close the distance to medium range. And with this thing bearing down on you, Elias, you can hear the heavy footsteps just the shuttle lifts off and begins to angle down. You see Elias, from what you can tell from your position, Stucky, Elias is running for their lives. Lon, get inside. You managed to make it up the ramp. And as all of this is happening, the same heavy thudding noises suddenly attract the attention of everybody in the gravitational well room. Tillo looks over his shoulder, and the Wookiee stiffens up. Everyone looks at each other for a moment. You hear around the corner, and the Wookiee settles in, and moving around the corner is a second Dark Trooper. And that is where we are going to pause and go on our 10-minute break. We'll be back in 10 minutes, everybody. We'll see you in 10 minutes. And as the Dark Trooper takes your hand, Elias, the two of you ride off into the sunset together. As the sweeping music plays, and you look into each other's eyes. The end.
Yep.
Credits roll. Star Wars. Don't sue me. Okay, let's.
Power of love.
That's the power of love. All right, so we are going to go ahead and start back where we left off with a couple of things happening all at once. So why don't we, just to keep this organized, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to ask for initiative rolls from everybody. Let me just go ahead and set up my NPCs here, but we're going to do an initiative roll for the Dark Troopers. There's two of them. There's one in the hangar and one up above. And then I'm going to open up the initiative. What's up?
My computer's check real quick.
Oh, yes.
See how that turned out?
Let's do that outside of combat. So go ahead and let's do that right now.
Gotcha.
So roll your computer's check.
The two setback dice get negated because I've got 2 levels of code breaker.
Oh, sweetness. Oh, you were the right person to put on this job. All right, go ahead and make your roll. 4 successes and an advantage. Now, in Star Wars Fantasy Flight, the number of successes do not scale up how wicked good you do. That's what the advantages are for. However, you completely succeed on... It's the fact that you have the data rod and that you were able to use it before you handed it off to gain access to the files. You hit the motherlode myth. Gaining access using this officer's... the dead officers. Oh, that's right. Use the dead officers. Using the dead officer's ID and gaining access to the computer. Because you were able to eliminate those setback dice, you managed to do this without flagging yourself for accessing information that probably wouldn't be accessed in this area of the ship. Fleet movements. You see positions, Imperial. You see the destination that this ship was headed to and where it was rendezvousing with the fleet. You see information of where the Imperial fleet is positioned right now in this sector of the galaxy. It is the motherlode. As it starts to appear up on the screen in front of you, your eyes are inadvertently just widening as you begin to realize what you've just gained access to. Apparently, this is one of the newest interdictor cruisers that have come off the line. And what you're seeing here in the data is indeed what seems to have been a malfunction caused the interdictor cruiser's gravitational field to activate in mid-hyperspace, ripping it from hyperspace. It was on the way to rendezvous with the fleet. Now, you don't know what the fleet's orders are, but you are seeing a massive fleet build-up in various portions of the galaxy. It's going to take the intelligence officers a while to sort of parcel through what all of this means and why the fleets are rallying in the directions they are. But you not only see fleet movements, you see supply depots, you see supply lines headed out to the front. You can see troop buildups. It is everything that is not highest classification down, but you basically the fog of war completely pulled off this sector of the galaxy.
They should have sent a poet.
Now, with that one advantage, I'm going to give you one more piece of information. The fleet is not terribly far from where you are right now. The destination that this interdictor was headed towards, the Starstorm was headed towards one of the major fleets out here in the Outer Rim. It is filling your body with a sense of growing terror when you begin to realize they could show up at any minute, depending on how long this SOS has been going out from the Starstorm. And that is when you hear the and the events play out as followed. And I'm going to have everyone roll initiative. So let me open this back up. Go ahead and make your rolls.
Are we re-rolling 2 or?
You don't have to re-roll. No, this is
Okay.
for everybody who is not part of.
Yeah, making sure.
Currently part of combat. Go ahead and make your initiative. This is a cool check. If nothing else, the Dark Troopers are terrible at initiative. But that's because they're the Terminator. They don't really need to worry about going first.
Jesus, Myth.
I think the dice are heavily skewed to like this portion of the overlay is down here.
Gran, don't let us down. Okay, I have to open up Tillo's because
Just Gran being like, "Oh, that's a very big robot."
Gran is more of just like, why are we flying towards it?
Oh, I've got bad news for you.
Oh, sorry about this, buddy. A kiss
Seatbelt.
from a ship on the great.
Seatbelt time, Grant.
Yeah. Okay, so Tillo, I just need to make sure Tillo's stuff is in place. Add to leadership checks for coordinate assault as a maneuver.
But missiles are a drug.
We're all gonna find parody songs tonight. All right. So I'm going to stop the initiative now and start us from the top. And that is going to start the round. This would technically, I believe, be when Lon would go, but because there's so many PCs in play, I'm going to open it up to whoever would like to go first.
My plan is to just get the brick in front of or in between Elias and the Dark Trooper.
Would you like to go first?
So yeah, I think I'm gonna do that.
Oh.
Will that impede Elias's shot?
No, because the truth is that Stucky is not going to be able to put that shuttle between the two of you. But Stucky is going to be able to put that shuttle between you and the big boom that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because the shuttle, there's not enough space to put a shuttle between the two of you guys.
Yeah.
But Stucky will be able to take the brunt of the blast. So you'll still get a full open shot on this thing if you want to take it. Okay.
All right. So what am I rolling here?
All right, Stucky. So this is a piloting space. This is a space piloting check. And this is gonna be where your aceness is definitely gonna need to pop into play here, because you are trying something very tricky. You're basically using maneuvering thrusters in the hovering position to try to put your ship between an incoming Dark Trooper and your squad mate. This is gonna be harsh. So I'm gonna ask for a difficulty 3. Considering the environment and the articulation of what you're trying to do with the ship, I'm gonna give you 2 setback dice on this.
Okay. Hold on, there's just something that I need to check out in the book real quick.
Do your thing, because I know you're going to need to pull up that. Yeah.
It's called second chances, because I think I might, once per encounter after a character has rolled a skill check, but before resolving the results, he chooses a number of positive dice from his dice pool up to the number of his rank in second chances and re-rolls them. Okay. I might need that. Difficulty 3. I'm going to use one of our boosts from the auxiliary crew.
Okay. Let me pull up who it's going to be. I'm going to roll the die. Let's see who is going to... Okay. Good roll.
Here we go.
You are getting a boost die from Rogan27.
Thank you so much, Rogan.
I'm going to start calling you Rogan from now on. I used to call him Krogan, but now... that has changed. Stucky, 1 success, 3 advantages. You steer the shuttle across the bay. The wings of the shuttle clip a few of the overturned ships. You hear this terrible screeching, banging noise. There's just no maneuvering inside this hangar right now. There's just too much thrown everywhere. At one point, you smash into the wing of a TIE fighter, causing the shuttle to shudder utterly. You can feel the hull beginning to give way. Gran inside just starts screaming cuss words of all different types of language. And at one point, you think you even hear Rhodian. But Gran is screaming and cussing. The doctor is shouting, "What the hell are you doing?" As the shuttle
fast interrogation.
I am going to deal some serious damage to the hull of this ship, but it won't really matter, because if you succeed in what you're doing, this ship is not going to be flyable anymore anyway. You watch, Elias, as that shuttle banks over, crashing through a bunch of the debris, and manages to position himself right over the head of the Dark Trooper. And Elias, I'm going to give you a squad benefit here. And I'm going to say, as a member of Ember Squad, who has now been on at least one dangerous mission with Stucky, you know what this absolute mad lad is trying to do right now.
Come on, kid.
What are you doing?
You're about to do something stupid, and I can't have that. I'm supposed to be the dumb one. Now shoot!
That being said, it is now the Dark Trooper's turn. Dark Trooper is going to advance and open fire in the direction of Elias. Elias, you do have cover, so I'm going to give this Dark Trooper 2 setback dice for the shot. I'm gonna, full disclosure, I really hope I miss. All right.
How are we feeling on destiny points, friends? Because honestly, I'm probably gonna want to pull one for this shot, but that would send us pretty low. You know, we'll just
smoke them if we got them.
Exactly.
God.
We won't have too many. All right. Well, so we'll upgrade the check.
I'm
okay. We'll upgrade. All right.
I don't like that look.
I think he's just realizing that he's about to kill me.
I'm just like, what would the Dark Trooper do? I'm gonna roll a percentile die here. I'm gonna leave this up to fate.
I mean, in all fairness, the ship is in its grill.
Even, yes. Odd, no.
Yeah, but you soak damage at a
Even.
1/10.
Okay, I rolled even.
Hey, it's a 66.
That means
That's not
Oh
a
my
good
God!
number at this
I rolled
point.
66.
What
Oh
the
no!
fuck are you doing?
go take a lap or something.
Oh no!
Initiate order 66.
Oh no! I even made that joke on Twitter before the game went live. What does it mean?
What?
Oh, I did. Oh boy.
Oh, when you
Don't worry.
through the screen.
Don't worry, guys. None of us are Jedi.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Through the screen. Like the ring.
I
never watched it. It was scary.
character for good suffer once you go. Okay. Ooh. All right. In that case, I'm going to. Okay. So I'm gonna leave this up to chance again. I'm gonna roll to see who it's gonna be. If it's gonna be Elias or if the Dark Trooper has been aggroed by Stucky.
I'm hoping I aggroed it.
Elias is even. Stucky is odd. It's
Come
even.
on, Evie. 82.
82.
That's me, baby.
Yep,
no,
he's gonna-
Elias is even.
No,
No,
Stucky is
Elias
odd.
was even. Elias was even.
Elias is even.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. All right. So it's happening. The worst possible thing is going to happen now.
Okay. All right.
I left it to chance. I'm going to build a pool. It is currently in medium range.
I feel like I'm trying to swim 200 yards.
You upgraded its check, correct?
I did.
Okay, so I'm going to give it an additional purple die then. Okay, it's going to get an additional purple die.
Has its check already been upgraded?
Hold up. All right, it's in medium range. Build the pool.
Oh, so it's going to elect
Oh, that's right. This is going to get upgraded. Okay, cool. And then you're behind cover, so 2. Okay.
It's using its secret hug feature.
I'm
It
gonna
just hugs people.
I'm gonna spend the boost die that I have not used. Oh no,
Dr.
I don't
Brawl
get
has
to.
a
I don't get to do that.
well first.
I don't get to use the boost die because I don't get to use the boost die because I didn't use them on the last roll.
Yeah, because you fired at me without it, so it expired.
Yep, they expired. All right, rolling. It failed.
Whoa. Oh.
It failed.
Of course.
And not only did it fail, but it did not achieve the advantages required to still hit you with the blast. It needed 3 advantages. If the missile attack weapon can make a check at the end of the round. No, I'm not going to let it do that. It's guided, so it could actually roll again if it misses. But I'm going to rule that at medium range, it was too close. Elias, as the Dark Trooper is approaching where you are, you see to your horror this thing come up on its shoulder, and it mounts. You see as a rocket exhaust begins to explode out the back as a missile launches, and without giving yourself time to be scared, you duck as the rocket launches right past you. With 2, I missed you by 1 advantage. I could have hit you with a blast 10. Instead, and breach 1, so it would have ignored. Instead, I rolled a failure. The attack misses utterly, and the blast doesn't happen. So what happens instead is the rocket flies right past you, Elias, and slams into a overturned TIE fighter about 10 meters away. The TIE fighter explodes. You see the wing fold in, and there's a detonation as the wing just pops. There's a ball of flame that roars. Your ears ring as the concussive blast rebounds you off of the cover in front of you, and your bell gets rung for a split second. The ringing, it takes you a moment, and the thing that snaps you out of it, Elias, is hearing still through the midst of the concussive shock that just happened as this rocket explodes less than 20 meters away from you. You hear through all of this that is going to be its action. I am horrified and grateful. I missed. After all of that, look at those dice. Unbelievable. Elias, that would have absolutely killed you. It is now whoever would like to go.
Go for it, Elias.
Get up, kid. Take the shot.
That would have absolutely one-shot you. That would have absolutely killed you.
I stand up from cover.
Okay.
I aim at the Dark Trooper.
Mm-hmm.
And then I move my blaster over to the proton torpedo and I shoot.
Okay. It is forward-mounted torpedo launcher, but its damage against, so it's going to scale up by 1 times 10.
Yeah.
Oh, make your shot.
What's the difficulty? What's my range from this?
If the range is, it's long range.
Okay.
No, no, I think it would be medium range. I think it's literally just on the boundary of that.
Okay.
The torpedo is right behind this trooper.
Right, who we know came in that way.
All right, so medium range. It is a. I'm going to spend a dark side point to upgrade this, and that's going to reflect the fact that this torpedo is currently laying on the ground behind debris. It is a smaller target. It is technically in a prone position. So I'll spend a dark side point to reflect that, as opposed to throwing setback dice at you.
All right, thank you.
Don't forget, you got a boost for my advantage.
Thank you. Yes, that's big. And I will
spend Ox Crew.
I'd like to spend Ox Crew. I'd like to flip a Destiny point.
All right.
Where are we at? Actually, before I spend an Ox point, where are we with those? Because we've been.
You have, yeah, y'all been spending a few. You
sure
have spent, let's see,
plenty.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've spent 6.
Okay. Then yes, I will spend.
Out of 15.
Yep. Okay.
Go ahead and spend it and make that roll then.
This might be the most. So yeah, medium range, 1 upgrade from a dark side point, and then a boost from True Aim, a boost from our Ox Crew, and a boost from a hot shot I really want to impress, as well as upgrading my dice pool with Destiny.
What the hell kind of dice pool is that? How do you even roll that many dice?
I would have to buy more physical dice than I even have, and I have a lot.
So you exceeded maximum. You rolled 3, 4, 5, and then you got the extra for spending
from the Destiny point.
From the Destiny point, you got an extra green because it upgraded.
I clarified all of them for a roll. Yep. And yet, still not my best success roll.
You aim down the sights. You squeeze the trigger. The blaster bolt impacts. I'm going to require, for this to take place, I'm going to require the expenditure of a light side point.
I spent one as part of the roll.
Oh, you did. Thank you. Yes, you did. I'm sorry. I'm going to count that then. All right. So you spent it. Wait, did we flip it? Maybe that's what I'm not seeing.
I did flip it.
You did flip it. Okay, cool. All right.
I thought I flipped it. I don't see it on the.
I don't see it on the thing either because I saw 2.
Yeah,
I'll flip it back.
Thank you.
Okay. So then this is what happens. The warhead is going to detonate. You hit the warhead straight at the point of impact. There is, as the blaster bolt hits it, there is a precious second, Elias, where nothing happens and you just see an arc of electricity play across the cover of this warhead that's laying out in the open. And a few moments later, it detonates. That is going to be, and I said it was in medium range.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is going to be multiplied by, so it's going to do its base damage and it's scaled up for silhouette. I'm going to have it times 10 damage then. So I'm going to drop the damage by, let's see the range. So I'm going to drop the damage by 8. Okay. Okay. Here is my compromise on what you've just pulled off. You have detonated a proton torpedo at medium range with a sniper shot to the warhead. That's going to be 18 points of damage behind this droid. That is absolutely going to incinerate it. It's also going to buckle the bottom of the brick. As the bottom of the brick, the stress on the hull, it's going to be basically battered around. Now, you are behind cover, Elias. So I'm going to treat this like it has a blast radius. Our grenade has a blast radius of short range. This is a proton torpedo that's being detonated. It should have I think it makes more sense that this has a much larger blast radius because it is a proton torpedo that is designed to take out vehicles. However, to reflect the fact that you are behind cover and that you are at medium range, I'm going to send this to your strain damage as opposed to your wound. And I'm going to give you 8 points of strain from the detonation of this warhead as you were hurled backwards. Now that will be so. You can soak some of that with whatever you got.
True. Actually, yeah, because it can soak strain as well. So it's okay. I was about to be like, I had 0 wounds and 6 strain. You just wiped me.
So Elias, the explosion, you don't know what happens. You know you landed the shot, and the next few moments of your life is confusion and ringing sounds in your ear, heat everywhere, the dull roar of something over your head. You can feel heavy vibrations underneath you that almost bounce you a little bit on the steel platforms, not knowing what the hell that could be. There's a secondary explosion in the background, but your ears right now are just muted. It sounds like someone has a blanket around your head and you can hear it going off. Looking over to your right, you can see your hand weakly clutching your blaster rifle. You didn't let go of it. You can see what looks like sparks showering down all around you. And then in a few moments later, this black glossy ball, which you instinctively, in the back of your mind, you think is a grenade as it comes rolling to the stop, like maybe some ordnance rolled loose. And it stares back at you. It takes you a second to realize you're staring into the destroyed, severed head of a dark trooper that has rolled and is superheated. Half of its face completely melted inwards and its eyes flickering as it comes to a stop. Even in this stage of death, this thing is a terrifying war machine as it comes skidding to a halt in front of you. As you look back to see what it is that's happened, you see a wall of fire and secondary explosions happening, but it finally clicks. The brick is where the wall is coming from. Stucky in that shuttle, the shuttle has crashed into the floor of the interior of the hangar. Where that dark trooper was standing is now just the house that dropped on the Wicked Witch. It is just a wall of stir steel from the shuttle. The brick itself is laying half on its side and sparking, and you can see flames have erupted from the side of it. You have no idea what the status of your friends are. You have no idea what else is going on. Your world is just a concussive mess right now of scattered images and muted noises as every bone in your body, every muscle feels like you've been repeatedly punched as hard as they could punch you in every part of your body as you get up. Like you've been hit by a car. Inside the shuttle, Stucky, you're conscious. You are currently looking outside of this shattered window of the flight deck. There is what looks like some kind of steel beam that is shattered right through the front of the flight deck. You hear an alarm blaring, a klaxon inside, boo, 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 just going off over and over and over, letting you know life support is down. Everything has been destroyed. The ship's engines are offline. Hull has been compromised. The repulsors have completely given out. Behind you is the still form of Gran, who's lying on the ground. His blaster pistol has been cast aside. The doctor still in her seat. kind of in the same state as Elias, just going, like looking around, and as smoke has begun to fill the interior of the ship.
I think concussed. Stucky's just gonna go. I hope you're happy with your service.
Stucky, I'm gonna ask you. You are. I'm gonna let's see. Crashing the ship. I'm gonna give you 6 points of strain, and you can soak that if you can.
He's not going to. He is. He's going to take that on the chin.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's your action. Meanwhile, topside, you hear Tillo screaming, "Get behind cover!" And at about that point, you hear the Wookiee, Narumno, in a very defiant low growl, just go, "No." Spins up the E-web, takes a wide stance, and just levels it down. And she just goes, and just opens fire with the E-web. And she is going to roll her attack because it's her action as she lets out a vicious war cry. All right. It's a dismounted E-web repeating blaster. So she's going to build her dice pool. She is shooting at, this is technically medium range. So, oh my God. Okay. I'm going to, are you guys cool with me? I'm going to spending a boost die from Ox Crew on behalf. Okay. On behalf of Ox Crew, Aether Spoon. Thank you. All right. Getting a boost die for Narumno. And then, do y'all want her to spend a light side point, or would you rather her not? It's up to y'all.
Let's just
let's get weird.
Okay, she'll spend a light side point then and upgrade that final die. And
listen, it's a Wookiee carrying a gun meant for a spaceship. You give her whatever you want.
Yeah, it's true. Okay.
I suggest you let the Wookiee win.
Building the pool. Oops. Oh, I have to do this off of. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, I can solve this issue real quick.
I love when your ally is building a pool. You just hear like 1,000 clicks. Like, oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, nope, don't forget that die. Oh yeah, that die too. Oh, that die.
He's a little extra bit of sauce.
Okay, there we go. I had to gain control, assuming direct control. All right, Ember Squad. All right, now I can build that dice pool. Okay, medium range. Build the pool. Okay. We're going to upgrade this to a yellow. Gains a boost die. And this is going to be... Right, it's gunnery. Okay, so the problem is that it's not letting me control Vanna's character. So I'll just roll this independently then. So that's going to be 1, 2, yep, 3, and then we're going to get a die, and then 2 of those, and yeah, no, roll the dice.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
Our coworker seems adept at murder.
What did you do here?
I'm gonna activate Chew Advantage to trigger auto fire. Because I only need 2 and I rolled 3, so I'm going to trigger auto fire. So that auto fire, basically, so everybody knows, auto fire. If using auto fire, I need to increase the difficulty of the attack. That's fine. I can just add another one and see if that does anything. Nope, doesn't do anything. So the roll stands as it is. So I added 1 to the difficulty of the attack to compensate for the fact that she used auto fire. If the attack hits, I can spend 2 advantages to trigger the auto fire damage effect. Each time this effect is triggered, it deals an additional hit to the target. Each hit deals the weapon's base damage plus the number of uncanceled successes on the check. She is going to do, let's see, 8, that's 16, carry the 1.
Damn, when you're carrying the 1, you're carrying the team.
Yeah. So 8, 16. So it's 18. Yeah. So 36 points of damage.
Oh my god.
She opens fire with the E-web, and the Wookiee has to take a widened stance as this happens. It almost blasts her off of her feet as she takes that stance and sits it up against. Oh, that's right. Also, it's an E-web, so it has Vicious 1, which when this weapon scores a critical injury, which it didn't score a crit, but it does have Piercing 2, which ignores 2 points of soak rating. The Dark Trooper is completely destroyed in front of your very eyes. It doesn't even have that. I don't think there is a single humanoid target in Star Wars. Wait, yeah, 36. The Dark Trooper has, what is it? Yeah, no, it dies. It's destroyed utterly. Even with all the advantages against this roll, it is utterly obliterated as she auto hits this thing with the E-web. And you watch her as she mows it down. And when it finally comes to a stop and the clip powers down, you can see the tip that E-web is super heated. It looks like it is just glowing molten red. And the room is filled, like the room goes up a degree of heat just from this thing. And the Wookiee just goes, that's from my squad. Cut down to the hall. The trooper splits in half as this molten steel collapses in onto itself and just... She uses the computer console in front of her to levy some of the weight from the E-web in front of her and just... Yeah, I just smashed toys together, and that's that. Both Dark Troopers...
peeks up next to the E-web.
Yeah, Myth, as you pick up next to the E-web, heat. Y'all are out of combat again.
That takes care of that problem. Time to see if there might be more of those on board. I'm going to start pulling up crew manifests and complement.
Okay, that's information you can grab and download, but are you specifically looking to find out if there are more Dark Troopers on board? There is a squad. You've taken out 2 of them. The squad was made up of 4. There are 2 more Dark Troopers somewhere on this ship.
We need to work fast and we need to get out of here.
Well, as soon as we get... Damn it! Tillo gets on the comms and goes, Lon, where the hell are you?
We had a big... There's been some explosions. One of them was of a big... I don't know what it was, but it was shooting at us. Big, tall, glossy Imperial thing. I'm on my way now.
Don't worry, Sergeant Hill. It was a blast.
Static coming through. What's happening on board the shuttle right now?
I am working with Grant to get our doctor sent over to the port Judgement, and
okay,
and I am going to check on Elias.
Okay. Grant, as y'all get out of the shuttle, first you are having to climb up a wall to get out of the shuttle and exit the emergency hatch. When you finally get to it and pull yourselves out, Grant's pulling out the doctor and glances over, and you see Elias is sitting up. Elias looks shell-shocked. They look completely stunned. Like it's Elias, you're just kind of sitting straight up right now. And everything around you, you feel like you're an observer out of your body looking at it. Like, the fire, it's so pretty. Like you can feel the pain in your body, but it's just the ringing in your ears and like taking a second to get a sense of where you are.
Hey, kid, you with me?
And suddenly Stucky is right next to you.
I'm fine, Grandmama.
Okay, that's gonna have to be good enough. He's good. I really hope you don't mind this kid, and I'm gonna like fire Miss Carrie, Elias, and make sure to grab the rifle.
Okay.
Please.
Yep, there you go. You're not going anywhere unless I take you there, kid. Now let's go.
And the rest of you jog towards the poor Judgement. You carrying Elias, Gran carrying the doctor, who is very unconscious and bleeding from the side of her face. The two of you dash towards the ramp. Lon, you are running as unescorted through this interdictor. I'm going to make a roll, and this is literally an encounter check. Ello is zipping past behind you, just going, we don't have long.
All right, let's see if we do the voot, voot, voot.
Okay. Even? Yes. Odd? No. You finally got an even on you. I finally got an even on Lon. Lon, the elevator door opens. And inside the elevator door, you see a single Imperial. She is looking at a data pad and she glances up at you. She's wearing a gray uniform. She doesn't look like an officer. She looks like she might be one of the engineering crew. She does not have a sidearm. So when she sees the door open and she spots you, she looks at you for a moment, sees the roaring fire, recognizes you're not wearing an Imperial uniform, and you see the recognition on her face, and she goes, I'm unarmed! She raises her hands and lets the data pad clatter to the ground.
Blasters, do blasters have stun settings?
Yeah, oh yeah. You can stun her.
I go, and you'll stay that way. And then I go ahead and hit her with the
You
stun.
don't even have to roll. She's at engaged range. You're using a blaster pistol. You can hit her. She is going to get stunned. She doesn't even have... She is a minion. You basically pull it out and she clatters to the ground of the elevator.
As I let the elevator close, I go, I hope you make a complaint about your work conditions.
Yes. Hopefully they are not the... Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just picturing how just anti-Starbucks Lon would be right now. All right.
Through Star Wars.
Yeah, through Star Wars. Somewhere out there in a galaxy far, far away, there's a Union man who is very angry at a certain coffee chain.
Oh, yeah.
All right. When the elevator stops, Lon, and it opens up, the first thing you see is the hallway, a melted husk and grooves melted into the steel or duraplate all around you from the fire of the E-web. When you step into the hallway, you can just see this thing is still smoking, but it is the same thing that just attacked y'all down on the decks below.
I go, wish we had whatever you had, as I awkwardly step over the molten slag or whatever.
Okay, yeah, you step over it, you just feel this rush of heat underneath you. You're like, as you move into the room, you see the rest of the squad, and Tillo swivels towards you and goes, I'm giving you 2 minutes, and then we are out of here. Do whatever you can. Disarming it is the priority. If you can blow it up, do that, but getting us out of here, primary goal. Remember, if they capture us, they run the risk of capturing the data that's on that shuttle.
What can I do to do like a, delayed enough explosion for us to get out of there?
So go ahead and make me... So are you more of a mechanics or computers?
More mechanics. And actually, I am spec'd as a saboteur, though.
Yeah.
Though, talents-wise, that just gives you a bunch of, strain, recovery, so I don't know.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because you're not deep into the tree yet. So let me do this. This is not going to be a computers check. This is literally trying to get an idea of how you can use the systems on board the ship, literally the hardware, to get what you need. So let's do this. Make me a mechanics check, and I'm going to set the difficulty of this at 3, and this is going to be your big roll of the game, Lon.
Okay.
So as a GM, I'll go ahead and tell you, this is a big roll for you. Difficulty is going to be 3. I'm going to spend a dark side point and upgrade one of those dice to a red.
Oof.
Because I got dark side to spend.
You can counter upgrade if you like.
I would. All right, let's figure out where I'm at right now.
Okay.
With a light side point, if I flip that back right over, what does that upgrade do?
It'll give you a proficiency die. So it'll turn one of your greens into a yellow. Now, if you are maxed out, it means you will get an extra die that's green.
Okay. I will do that then.
Okay, so you're going to get an extra die. And I'm guessing you're going to want to spend a boost die from Ox Crew. Is that correct?
Yes.
Man, Ox Crew, I just want to take a moment to all of our supporters, especially the ones that have been given and been so generous at keeping the stream punks playing games and telling stories. Y'all are really making a difference in the narrative here, and it's been a lot of fun watching the players burn these boost die and change the course of the Ember Squad. Wraith, thank you for that boost die.
Thank you, Wraith. All right, I have my dice pool up.
Okay.
1 red and 2 purples, and then all the things I have.
1 red and 2 purples, and all the things you've got. Roll for
I'm
your
glad
life.
I'm glad I trained up my mechanic with experience in the in between.
Yeah.
Banking experience. All right, here we go.
Here we go. 3 successes, 2 threats.
Oof.
You take a look at the systems, and you start working that mind. The mind, Lon, you have specialized as a saboteur. If there's one thing you're good at, it's taking things that look very delicate and breaking the fuck out of them. This looks like a very sophisticated, delicate machine. This is literally an artificial gravity well. How could you use that against itself? It takes you a few moments to realize. And I would like you, Quincy, to tell me how you think you could use this gravity well.
The way I understand gravity wells constructions, they have to be projected from a sort of projector emitting array, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the array implies that there are multiple points that basically draw gravity, and a correctly aligned array draws it all to a central point. Now, it's already kind of damaged, which meant it's kind of turning on and off, fluctuating. That implies that there's... Now, Lon Ortha did go to standard engineering school, has his physics degree at a basic level. It's already unstable, but it's all aligned in the same way right now still. All we have to do is align all the projector emitters for the gravity well into itself. So it'll tear itself apart, and any sort of thing that gets flown in there is basically being slungshot within any tiny gravity wells within whatever it's projecting into. So instead of all gravity out into one thing, preventing hyperdrive, it's just all tearing itself apart now with gravitational forces.
Okay. You go to work, basically throwing wrenches into the gears. As you start altering some of the, you start altering a lot of the parameters of the gravity itself and overriding safety features that are put in place. Some of them require authorization, shutting down some of the safety fields. With that roll, you successfully managed to spend the next few moments basically tearing down all of the safeties on the gravity well. And as soon as you initiate your plan into action and grind the gear, as it were, to try to break the entire transmission, as you initiate, immediately the klaxon alarm that we are also familiar hearing on Star Destroyers, the woo, woo, begins to blare. A few seconds later, you hear that woman's voice again. Engineering, this is the bridge. What's going on down there? Engineering.
I look over at Myth.
We're detecting a massive buildup of energy. What is the status of the gravity well projectors?
I just tell her this is the restart sequence.
I'm just going to say, sorry, Commander, it looks like there's a bit of a malfunction happening. We're trying to lock it down.
Unacceptable! I'm sending engineering teams to you right away. Shut down the entire system.
Click.
Hearing that,
Click.
What's a good way to lock it out? Han Solo it, or lock out the control so they can't undo what I did?
That would certainly, yeah.
Boring conversation anyway.
Yeah, that would certainly delay them. Yes, if you decided to shoot up the hell out of the console. Yes.
I'm gonna get as much data as I can out, and would it be possible for me to just fry the computer console, like overload it as I'm getting the stuff out of it?
That's
with
more of a
computer
mechanics check. That's more of a mechanics check. Yeah.
Yeah. So once Myth is done, I'll just take a blaster to the console and go. Easier to take it apart than to put it together.
They explode, and you hear the distinctive laughter of the Wookiee behind you at your joke as you just sparks exploding everywhere as you just blast up this thing. Tilo goes, all right, that's it. Let's go. Move out, Ember Squad. Double time.
As I run past and go, I look at the Wookiee and go, I'll introduce myself on our way out.
Yeah, the Wookiee follows after. Tilo just rolls right past you bipeds and just heads straight for the elevator. Just gets up there. It opens up and goes, in, go. I'm going to roll again on the encounter check. Now, I've been doing 50-50 this whole time, and I'm going to keep it that way because with this many people on board the ship, you guys have gotten kind of lucky moving about without being stopped. Let's find out. I'm even. Encounter, odd, straight shot. Once again, I roll an even.
No straight shots here.
No straight shots here. You get to the bottom. You hear the... Y'all are on a time escape right now as that gravity well is going to eat itself alive. When you get to the bottom, you feel the ship, everyone, including you all in the hangar, as you're getting up inside the poor Judgment, Gran lays the doctor down and goes, is this our new ride? This is nice. Very nice. What is that? And all of you begin to feel this. The entire ship begins to shimmy. You can see things falling over inside the hangar.
Sorry. Is there any chance I can try to roll a mechanic check to see if I know what's happening?
Yeah. You get over to first of all, the bridge of this ship is sweet. There is single pilot seat is point. The co-pilot seat and commander seat sit behind you. And in front of you is just a wall of window where you can just experience all of space. Even under your feet, the cockpit window kind of gives you full range of view. When you sit into the chair, you're like hovering over the window, and the console, you just pull it in front of you. And you see everything goes bleep, bleep, bleep. All the displays just light up immediately, and you have access thanks to the officer rod. You gain access, and it gives you the officer's name. It's Lieutenant Ban Dendy.
Yeah, I could be Dendy for you. I'm gonna put Elias in the co-navigator seat, strap them up. I'm assuming they're still kind of loopy.
Yeah.
I'm just holding my blaster in one hand. I think, did you maybe hand me off your flight stick that you were carrying? So I just have, I'm dual wielding, but one of them's just a flight stick. Look at the things shaking and falling. I think I'm busy.
What's the difficulty of the mechanics check?
Sorry, what are you doing again?
If I could tell from the rumbling of
it's a computer check. It's a sensor check.
Done.
Yeah, you can use the sensors to find out what's going on.
Gotcha. In that case, I am
difficulty is 2.
Yeah. Computers.
Pull up your stats.
There we go. Difficulty 2.
Difficulty 2. 1 success, 2 threats. Okay, so gain 2 points of strain.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's been a stressful day. For poor Stucky. You're at 12 strain. Stucky, Stucky, you're feeling the wear and tear of everything that's been happening. Also, your head's still ringing from the impact of the crash. So as you punch in on the sensors, sensors are detecting a massive buildup of gravitational distortions happening within the center of the ship. And what it looks like sensors are telling you is the gravitational field that was extending outward at 1/3 AU is now drawn into the ship and is starting to focus point on the center of the interdictor's frame, meaning the gravity is withdrawn completely and you have a clear shot if you can get off this ship. However, if you don't get off the ship very soon, everyone's going to get a lot smaller.
I am priming this ship to go the second everybody's on board.
You start powering up the engines. It is so much different than powering up the brick Stucky. The engine, the hyperpulse engine that powers up, this thing is fresh off the line of the Quat drive yards. When this thing powers up, you hear this sleek, this hum as the ship's power systems all come online. You see full tactical readouts in front of you. Weapon systems are online. Again, it has one dorsal and one ventral turret-mounted quad laser cannon and a forward-mounting concussion missile launcher that is fully stocked. 20 missiles in the bay. You just see it all clink, 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 read out. It also registers the armory. Yes, the armory in the back is currently fully stocked, and it lists how many items are currently not stocked. Like it looks like this thing was still being loaded up with consumables. The hyperdrive is online, and it starts powering up. Meanwhile, as the elevator door opens and y'all are rushing towards the hangar, as the doors open, behind you, you hear, there they are! I'm going to ask you all to make a vigilance check against the stormtrooper unit's cool check. Dun, dun, dun. Imperial Stormtrooper Squad. Yes, that's right. There are more. So we are going to open up the initiative.
Undifficultied, right?
What's that?
Undifficulty because it's just a standard initiative.
Correct. It's just an initiative roll. And you have run into a squad of stormtroopers. However, you're on the other side of them and the hangar is in front of you. So they're going to roll. Actually, I'm going to have them roll vigilance too, because they did not expect to. They kind of Han Solo'd that where they turned the corner and were like, ah! Ooh, finally, my stormtroopers get some initiative. Okay, but Myth, did you roll yet? There you are, Myth. Oh, nice. Let me roll for Tillo. This is going to be a vigilance roll for Tillo. Oh, boy. Tillo. And MT, who is there, is also going to get to roll a vigilance check. Man,
MT has a knife.
That's right.
Hello, new patients.
Yeah. I'm just going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. Initiative, vigilance, roll die. Okay. One advantage. Okay, so MT is going to be going... Wait, what is this? Oh. Convert that to PC. Okay, and then Neru. Oh, boy. Yeah. Okay. Cool check for... Or vigilance check for Neru. Okay, so Nero's okay. Okay. Oh, these poor stormtroopers. You are all pretty much getting to decide who gets to go first. So Myth, I'm gonna do storyteller override. I want to see Myth go. So Myth, you did roll on the high end, so I'm gonna let you go first. What would you like to do?
So, could you just lay out the situation,
yes,
how the room looks?
Y'all were running towards the end of this large corridor. The large double doors of the hangar have just started to slide open. Behind you, there was the T section that is in front of the elevator. Mm-hmm. This squad of stormtroopers. Let me see how many there are. There are six. 6 stormtroopers have just rounded the corner. So it's a full squad. And upon sight of you, they are going to open fire. Okay.
So there is T intersection, us on one side, stormtroopers sort of like adjacent sort of kind of deal, and then the
best way to describe this is think of Cloud City. And R2, they're behind you, and y'all are on the other side of the door. The stormtroopers are behind you guys, shooting at you as you're fleeing towards the hangar.
Okay. I think Myth's just going to run. Is going to use as much movement and strain to get to the other side of the hangar doors?
No problem. You don't even have to do that. It's just the same. You could use both your movement to get to the other side of the hangar doors.
Okay. Is there a access port on the other side of the hangar doors?
There's no port. There's literally
Or
just
like to-
there's a ledge, and then there is your burning.
I meant
shuttle.
like to open, close.
Oh, the doors are opened. They
Okay.
as y'all have approached, the hangar doors have slid open.
What I would like to do is get to the other side of the doors to the
Use a
control
cover?
panel that closes them.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing.
And then when my team gets through the other side of the door, I am going to close this door.
Smart. Okay, so you use
And
your
cover our
movement.
escape.
You are basically going to get to the other side, and that's going to be
Mhm.
your action. So you are in position next turn to activate that control pad.
Yes.
So then next up, who would like to go? I mean, there's really only nobody else is. It's all NPCs at this point, isn't it? It's just you and a bunch of NPCs.
And Lon. So
And Lon. That's right. So Lon, do you want to go next?
yeah, like I can't imagine anything more complicated than a run and shoot or a shoot and run.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah,
does
you can make your movement. That'll put you on the other side of the doors, and you can shoot behind you.
All right, let's do that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack.
What's the difficulty on that one, or is that another resist?
You
situation?
are at you are just outside of short range. So I'm going to say medium range.
Luckily, that's what a blaster pistol's range is. Okay, let's see here. Medium range, you said?
Medium range, yes.
Build pool. Wait, how do I actually add this?
Click on you click on the range first.
Select
I always
weapon.
forget to do that. Yeah. Click on the range, select your weapon, click build pool.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so you hit the wall. You shoot like the stormtroopers towards the stormtroopers. However, you do have advantage, so you do get to spend that if you'd like. You can recover some strain.
Here, like
You could give a bonus die, or you could recover some strain because it looks like you've taken some
oh,
strain.
I'll recover some strain. Let's do that.
Okay, cool. All right, so you are going to recover a point of strain, and that's going to lead to the next action, which I'm going to go ahead and say is going to be Neru. And Neru whirls around after doing her full movement, gets to get to the other side, and spins up the E-web again. And she is going to, let's see, medium range. She's going to build a pool. Yep. Okay. Oh dear. 2 difficulty. No. 2 difficulty. She's going to roll. Oh, wow. But she got a triumph. So that is going to, she's not going to be able to. Well, no, she got a triumph though, so that does count as a success. But she doesn't do any extra damage. She's just going to do 15. Okay, so she's going to spin that up and going to do 15 points of damage to the stormtrooper squad. So a total of 10 damage because of their soak. Which is going to, oh wait, no, 12 damage because that thing has piercing. Goes through 2 points of their armor. She kills 2 stormtroopers. She opens fire. Just shoots at them. Triumph, I forget. Triumph actually against minions, I think Triumph automatically triggers a critical hit.
Auto murder, yep.
Yeah, it's auto murder. So
Elias
that's
has done
actually
a couple of those.
yeah. So I think that's actually going to kill a 3rd stormtrooper because she does her base damage against the unit, which is 15 with an E-web, and then a Triumph is a crit. So without even using auto fire, she just kind of sporadically fires this E-web. 3 stormtroopers immediately drop. And they let out shouts. It is going to be their turn. I'm going to get rid of this guy. It is their turn. They are going to return fire on the Wookiee. They do not feel inclined to let the Wookiee win. They're going to open up with their blaster rifles. They're at medium range. I'm going to spend a dark side point. And do I have any boost die? Nope. Yes! Finally! I shot one of y'all. 1 success, 10 damage to Naruno, but she has a 5 soak, just from her fucking brawn rating. And then she has 21 wounds. So she will take 5 points of wound damage. She takes the shot to the chest. You think she felt it? You're not sure. You're pretty sure you saw a blaster bolt disappear into the Wookiee's fur, but she doesn't seem to slow down. And that's going to be her action. And then the last action is actually Tillo, who is going to roll right past onto the other side, swivel around, and open fire on the stormtroopers. Medium range. Oops, I forgot to select a damn weapon. Using, Tillo has a modified, Tillo's using his special gun. Tillo is going to use, let's see. Yeah, he's got a special modified blaster pistol. It's superior, generates an automatic advantage on all checks related to its use, and increases the base damage by 1. Okay. Tillo's going to open fire. It's at medium range, so 2. Pulls out that beautiful blaster. Bam! 9 total damage from that bad boy with an advantage. That's going to generate a secondary advantage with 2 advantages. He is going to pass those advantages on to Stucky. Both of them. You get 2 boost die. He's going to give that to the pilot to get us the hell out of here. So you're going to get 2 boost die. Yeah, you're going to get 2 boost die from Tillo. Tillo is going to do a total of 9. That's going to go to the Stormtrooper soak. The Stormtroopers have a soak of 5. They're going to take 4 points of damage. 2, 3, 4. And there are still 3 Stormtroopers left. That's going to be the end of the rounds. Starting at the top of the round, that is going to bring us back up. Go ahead and make your computers check, Myth. Seal that door. Yeah. So, Sam, to compound upon your observation, I read up on interdictor cruisers. 3 interdictor cruisers is 1 AU of gravitational pull, stopping hyperspace travel in an entire system. They are terrifyingly powerful.
For chat who can't view what I wrote to the team, when Eric mentioned that interdictors are with 1 AU of 1/3 AU of stopping power, I double checked because I had a hunch. And yes, that is about the same distance as between the sun and literally Mercury, which is 0.37 AU.
What is the difficulty on this computer's check?
Computers check.
Got the data rod.
2.
2?
Yep, 2. Standard difficulty.
Sounds good.
Close the blast door. Close the blast door.
Close the blast door.
Open the blast door.
Open the blast door. May I have a aux crew boost?
You may. Man, can I just congratulate all of you for really doing a great job of using the aux crew boost dice tonight? Just using those up is very good. Duran, thank you. Duran 452.
We love using them and
2
not
successes,
dying.
1 advantage, and 1 triumph.
The door slams closed, and the blast door goes. It is a straight shot to the ship, except for the only person that knows is Lon, who, it should be pointed out, you all see the brick is on fire, laying on its side and burning on the hangar deck as you all turn around.
I yell, "This way! We have a new way out. Let's go!"
Lead the way.
If you can,
I would. But I'd like to. One thing I'd like to do as the doors shut, the blast doors close. I'd like to fry use the little blaster that Nick has had that has never
Spark
used,
slide.
just to shoot the panel, so that way
Blast
we're
it.
sealed. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you fire off a couple of shots. Sparks fly everywhere as the console fuses. And you guys, if you can imagine the camera following you all as you charge through the battlefield of debris, as you're hearing the alarm klaxon go, woo, woo. something that starts to happen to all of you as you're rushing towards the ship is you all start to feel slight wave of nausea as you're moving towards the ship. And then there's a moment of vertigo. Each of you takes a second to have to like realign for a second. And that's when you realize that some of the warheads on the ship and some of the scattered debris are starting to lift and float off of the surface of the hangar floor. The klaxon starts to blare, and you, Stucky, are detecting massive gravitational buildup on the inside of the ship, and you're hearing this rather terrifying, deep groaning sound from somewhere in the distance. The lot of you make me an athletics check with a difficulty of 1 and 1 setback die as you are all dashing towards the ship.
Poor Judgement.
How many of those Ox Crew boost die do we got left?
Yeah, now's the time to use them. You'll see you've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You've got plenty.
Okay, great.
Can I use the advantage from my previous roll for myself to give myself a boost die?
Yep.
Because otherwise, it's looking bad.
Quincy?
Self boosts are 2 for 1.
2 for 1?
Yeah, they're 2 for 1. So
To others is 1.
It's
For
1.
self is 2.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, you only had 1?
I only had 1. So
You
I
could
would
use a boost.
Yeah,
Oscar
would I be
die?
able to give my advantage to Lon instead, and then use the Ox Crew boost die? So that way,
Yes. Yeah.
I'm just gonna take both, if that's cool.
Yeah, do it.
Because I've got one. It's not.
Do
it's
it.
not
Use
looking
all
good.
3 of them, man. Y'all burned through these tonight. All right. So, Guru Matt, D-Man 1701, and Darth Pillow. Thank you for trying to help get our Ember Squad out alive. Make y'all's rolls. Oh, Myth. Oh,
Keyword
no.
Try.
Oh no.
It's a heart, but it's a 0.
Gain 2 points of strain, Myth.
Yep.
And you, as you're running, leave the deck of the ship and start drifting upwards. You just kind of look down as you notice you're drifting, but all of a sudden the gravitational forces begin to shift inside the hangar and you start drifting back. I am going to roll for MT, who is going to try and grab you. MT has a 3 in athletics. I forgot to roll difficulty dice, so let me roll that. Oh, no! MT fails to grab you. Neru is going to give it a shot. Neru is going to leap forward and see if they can grab you. Oh, this will be a different check. Yeah. It's a freaking Wookiee. It doesn't need an athletics score. However,
roll difficulties anyway against that.
I'm going to spend a dark side point though, and I'm going to rule in order to grab you, Neru has to drop her gun. It is encumbered. It is that gun is huge. It is essentially an artillery piece that she has to carry with 2 hands to wield it. She sees you drifting up and looks down and just lets go and leaps up and grabs you by the foot and carrying you like a kite just starts running towards the ship and starts pulling you down. Ember, you start feeling yourself being pulled not up but back towards the hangar door. As the gravitational force, you notice that all the hair on your body, Myth, is starting to pull in a different direction, and now you're being tugged along by the Wookiee. You all charge up the ramp. Just as it reaches the top of the ramp, you see Tillo just clamp his chair down and grab hold of something and go, "Stucky, get us the hell out of here!"
One question before we do this. Can I make a perception check to see if I see the dropped gun?
Yes. Go ahead and make a perception check. The difficulty be 1 because it's currently floating.
Okay. All right, that's what I thought. I would like to use a light side point, please.
Okay.
In messing around with this ship while I was waiting for everybody, and I looked this up, so it's up to you if this is allowed.
Okay.
As we're taking off, I would like to use the tractor beam to grab the gun as we take off.
I tell you what, since you're spending a point for it, I will let this happen. However, there's no way a tractor beam can be that precise to grab.
Yeah.
However, you will be able to grab the gun and everything else the tractor beam locks onto.
Bring it on.
I'm going to spend a dark side point.
Yeah!
And one of the things you lock onto
It's a warhead.
Is a warhead.
Hope y'all ready for a fluffy ride.
Make me a
I've got a bomb.
Make me a piloting check.
All right.
You are
Difficulty?
as you the difficulty from the gravitational shearing that is happening right now. I'm going to put the difficulty at 1. I'm sorry. Difficulty is going to be a. I'll set the difficulty at 2. I'm going to give you an automatic setback die.
Okay.
Because of the extraordinary, that's to compensate for the gravitational shearing. I'm going to give you another setback die because of all of the debris and fire and everything in the hangar, and then I'm going to spend another dark side point to raise the check by 1.
Okay, so let me do something here real quick. I can drop 2 of those setbacks with skill jockey.
You are an ace, my friend.
So here we go.
All right, roll it.
I'm also adding the boost. Somebody gave me 2 boosts.
Someone gave you 2 boost? That's right, yeah. And were you using, I'm sorry, were you using an aux crew boost?
No, Tillo gave Stucky 2 boosts.
Okay, cool.
Do we have an auxiliary boost left?
Let me check.
We have like 3 or 4, right?
Let's see. Yeah, you've got one from Mr. Owlbear.
Mr. Owlbear, thank you very much. I'm going to use that.
Wow, you used almost all of the boost die tonight.
Smoke him if you got him. Here we go.
If you got him. 3 successes, 2 advantages. Spinning those 2 advantages, I'll let you lose the warhead.
All right. Yep.
A few moments of groaning sounds as you hear the klaxon of the alarms blaring. All of you on board the ship are kind of realigning to the artificial gravity that is built inside the decimator. The poor Judgment spins a little bit to the right, and you guys move towards the opening of the hangar. You dip low, and there's a little bit of a nauseating feeling from all the gravitational shearing that's happening around you as the cockpit suddenly aims down to the exit of the hangar. So you watch the horizon dip sickeningly quick as you see the beautiful black expanse of space waiting for you underneath. A few moments later, Stucky hits the acceleration, and the decimator, you watch as this opening just flies past all of you, and you see in an ambient blue glow in front of you. Anybody who is looking through the flight deck window might not understand what they're looking at, but that is indeed a tractor beam that has been activated. There's a few items stuck in it. It's hard to say what it is, and a lot of you fly outside and escape, bursting through the gravitational folding that is happening inside this interdictor class. The Starstorm begins to implode. There's groaning and shearing happening behind you as the gravity wells begin to circle around themselves and form a temporary miniature singularity at the center of the ship. As you're all escaping from this Star Destroyer, you hear this there's rattling going on, and a few moments later in the sensors looking back behind you, there's just quiet on board the ship as everyone's kind of taking stock of each other, and you watch as the interdictor begins to literally fold on itself. Secondary explosions, pocket explosions detonating, erupting off the sides. Explosions explode out into space, pause, and are drawn right back into the bulk of the ship as it folds and compacts and then detonates. There's a flash of light, and all of you feel this concussive push against the poor Judgment. And in that instant, Stucky, you see all the gravitational anomalic distortions vanish from sensors.
All right, we're flying clean.
There's a moment of silence, and then Gran just goes, "Yeah! No, we did it, right? That was it!"
That was it.
But we're still short on time. Miss going to run up into the co-pilot seat, plug in the data pad with the location of the base that we were headed to begin with to program the Navic computer so that we can jump.
Myth, you're gonna also want to start working on our signals. We're about to show up to the heart of the rebellion in an Imperial vessel. I'd rather not get shot down.
About that. About that, the data pad information was kept in such a way that once it was uploaded into the navigational computer, it was transferred off of the data pad to keep, because the location is so top secret, it was made to keep completely and utterly safe.
I don't know where I'm going, do I?
as you plug the data pad in, Myth, it takes you a second to realize what's happened.
I think our milk run might take a little bit longer. Did I happen to get when the transfer happened? Did I get the location?
No. You know where you guys have been. You know how to get back where you came from, but you don't know where you're going.
Well,
Hot. It was called Hot, right?
It's worth noting that Hoth is not a charted world right now. It's it is a charted system, but it is way off the map.
All right.
Are we heading back for directions?
I guess we need to turn around and ask for directions.
I'm going to spend a dark side point. Oops, that was a dark side point. I'm spending a dark side point. You hear alarms start to blare, and on the edge of the system, a Class 2 Imperial Star Destroyer jumps out of hyperspace.
Stucky, just pick a direction. Let's go.
I've been waiting for you to tell me that all day.
A few moments later, a inter-system patrol craft jumps out of hyperspace. Go ahead and make me an astrogation check, if you would, please, Stucky. So let me tell you what you're up against here as you bring us home. You're going to be making an astrogation check, and this is going to be a quick one. So let's see.
What's the difficulty?
That's what I'm going to calculate here. So you know where you're going. It is off the beaten path. So you're going to keep track of this. You're familiar with where you're going. So you're going to gain I'm going to give you a boost die to it automatically. The ship is in great condition, so there's no added difficulty. Miscellaneous add rushed calculations are going to add a +1 difficulty. Origin destination, so 3. So I'm going to plot the difficulty of this. You're going to get 1 boost die with the difficulty of 4.
Okay. This will be interesting.
Unbelievable. I threw 4 purples at you. I threw
Believe
4
it.
purples at you to keep you from jumping out of system before ties could catch up to you guys. You punch in the coordinates and start working through it. And indeed, you do see that the system patrol craft turns and starts closing in on you. Those things are nightmarish for silhouette ships of your size. The Imperial Star Destroyer is beginning to launch ties. A Victory class Star Destroyer jumps out of hyperspace moments later. But you don't have to worry about it. As you see lines and Ember Squad, you jump to hyperspace. And that is our closing scene for tonight's episode of Ember Squad.
Oh! You think I actually have an engine?
We did! You have a new brick! It still flies like a brick, but it is a new brick!
This is
a gold brick.
This is you are flying, yes, you are flying a big honking heavy ship, but this thing has a primary class 1 hyperdrive, meaning it's only a little bit slower than the Millennium Falcon. This thing is fast.
It's
real fast.
I may have already bought a model for it.
Yeah, this thing is a monster. Y'all. Okay, so let's just go over what happened tonight.
Whew.
You managed to recover one of the squad members from one of the lost squads that invaded the ship. This is from the Vagabond Shroud Company. An entire company of rebels attacked the interdictor cruiser, and in their honor, you got the job done. Every member of Shroud Squad that died to take out that ship is going to rest a little easier tonight. You managed to rescue the last surviving member of Shroud Squad, a huge Wookiee, who is now, at least for the moment, teamed up with you guys. You stole a VT-49 Decimator. You crashed a shuttle after you detonated a proton torpedo to take out a Dark Trooper. Another Dark Trooper was slagged by the full auto fire of a mounted E-Web that was being held by the Wookiee, which you're still going to have to recover. It's still in your tractor beam. I'm sure the physics of Star Wars would be like, nope, that's atomized, but no, it's fine. It's fantasy. It's space fantasy. It's fine. You destroyed the ISD Starstorm, and you recovered vital classified information about ship and fleet movements here in the Outer Rim that is going to be vital to the movements and strategies of the rebellion in the coming months. Ember Squad, you had a good day. A standard 10 XP at the end of every game session. That's bumped up when you guys win a big story arc. Typically, story arcs take 2 to 3 game sessions. I'm going to call this one a big win boss fight. You took down a Star Destroyer. Everything y'all did. I'm awarding Ember Squad 20 XP tonight.
Yes.
And we are definitely going to have to revisit contribution ratings that y'all have made to the rebellion.
MT's gonna give me such a big lollipop for this.
I know you guys have been asking how long is Ember Squad going. This game is meant to fill in the space between our next major campaign, and it goes until we reach a good stopping point. Whatever happens next, I will say this, that what is coming next for the Ember Squad, y'all have proven yourselves big time twice now, and have definitely attracted the attention, most likely, of High Command and the Empire. But that's for the next game session. We're going to leave you all with that tonight. Thank you so much, Ox Crew, for all of your support. We know there's a ton of TTRPG shows out there, especially on Monday nights. Thank you so much for tuning into ours and being a part of it. Thank you for all of the boost die. We will see you next Monday night. Until then, my friends, may the Force be with you.